The racing may be over here at San Marino, but here we're beginning for the last in-season test of 2024. This is the first chance that the riders get to head out to the circuit and see exactly what the 2025 bikes could potentially offer. Hello everybody, welcome to watch along coverage then of the Misano in-season test. A very crucial test as well. Now this morning's session we decided not to bring you because nobody went out on the circuit. There was a lot of standing water overnight and it took the entire morning session to clean up the surface. Plus, not much happened anyway. There was a few fallers on the circuit that will bring you as well. Both Marc Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia having a few little incidents as well. Morbidelli also going down, but also Vignales going well. Now, the afternoon session's underway. The session is go. We're going to be bringing you the timing coverage. But what we're also going to do, because there's no TV pictures and there's no other footage, just a timing screen, we are going to be going around what happened at the weekend with our radio commentary. So if you've watched our watch-alongs before, you know how they work with the timing pictures and all that lot. So we've taken the commentary from the Moto GP Sprint, the Moto 3, the Moto 2 and the Moto GP Grand Prix. And if we have time at the end of the day, we're going to bring you all the action as well from the Moto E races. So that's going to be on in the background. Feel free, if you just want to watch the timing screens and keep up to date with the information as well, you can just switch off, no problem, and you can just watch the timing screens. But if you do want to listen to the commentary and catch up on what you missed, have us on in the background on a Monday, it's all up to you. So let's cross over then. And first of all, we will start on the screen with A, sectors, and B, the times as well, so you can keep up, and a blog for you as well. That's all the information that we have got hold of. We'll also bring you everything we can. There's no tyre data in this session, however, because that's been restricted. So let's throw back in time as well. It is Misano test time as well. It's going to be the last hour or so where we see everybody out on the new machinery. So what they've done is in the morning session, they went out on their Grand Prix bikes they had from Misano. They then just cleaned the track up, waited for it to stop raining. Then we saw them start doing what was normally a practice session, which they just set regular lap times in about 1:31s, which we're seeing Morbidelli doing now at the top of the session. But the biggest thing that we were waiting for has now happened, is that the track is now dry, the sun's come out, so in the afternoon we're going to see the faster times and we're going to see the GP25 bikes head out there as well. So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on, and there's so many other riders going in. So feel free to keep this on in the background to keep us updated as well, and we're going to hand over now to what happened in the Moto GP sprint race with the radio commentary in the background. Enjoy. Moto GP moves away from Motorland Aragon and heads over for a double header in Misano. Welcome to the Gran Premio Red Bull di San Marino e Delia Riviera di Rimini. And it's time for the Tissot sprint race to get underway. The field is set, the drivers are ready, so are we. Anticipation and tensions are rising ahead of the 25th race of the 2024 season. Welcome to MotoGP's round 13 and the Tissot Sprint, coming to you from the Emilia-Romagna region, but it is the San Marino Grand Prix. Qualifying earlier on, this is your data. Pecco Bagnaia on pole position. Franco Morbidelli is second with Marco Bezzecchi third. Three different Ducatis on the front row. Then it's Johan Zarco in. Then it's Jorge Martin in fourth. Pedro Acosta is fifth with Brad Binder in sixth. Marc Marquez seventh with Anea Bashi in the eighth. Marc Marquez ninth. Fabio Quartararo 10th, Maverick Vinales 11th. There's Jack Miller 12th. Aleix Espargaro goes in 13th. 14th for Fabio Di Giannantonio, 15th Paul Espargaro, 16th Johan Zarco, 17th Augusto Fernandez, 18th Miguel Oliveira, 19th Raul Fernandez, 20th for Alex Rins, Luca Marini 21st, with Takaki Nakagami 22nd, Stefan Bradl goes in 23rd position. The field is set and we're all set to go. It's hopefully going to be an absolutely fantastic weekend. Martin is on 299 points. Bagnaia is on 276. That is 23 the gap in the championship going into this weekend. It's a double header here at Misano. 2 sprints and 2 features ahead of us. There's a load of smoke bombs being set off. They were told not to do that. They've done it anyway. But this is going to be crucial. This is going to be awesome because Moto GP, every single time we head off into the distance, it's going to be a very exciting race. Megan Birch will join me in the commentary box momentarily, ready for the start of this one. Let's see if she actually gets in before lights out. I'll just move out everything so that she can sit down and get into the commentary box without knocking anything over. She'll also be with us for the St Mary's Trophy, which is coming up in the race of Goodwood Revival. Warm-up lap has started. Megan is walking in, so she's got that timed to perfection to this one as they are into the last corner now. She wasn't feeling very well this morning, so she gets a break. Hello, Megan.
Hey.
San Marino, 13 laps ahead of us, and Bagnaia back on pole position. What do you think could happen?
Crash? I'm hopeful.
It seems to be, doesn't it? Hey, no crash, no stoppage, nothing. We have
Not stoppage crash.
We've got to get to the St Mary's Trophy.
Not stoppage crash, just yellow, someone slipped off the bike and have to restart.
Ready for the start procedure then. The green flag is at the back. The race is about to get underway. 13 laps at San Marino. It's eyes to the lights and pull the throttle back as we go sprinting. It's a great start from Martin Brandstad from Franco Morbidelli, who almost goes down. He sort of gets a twitch on the bike. Brad Binder's coming up the inside. Martin leads into turn 1 from 5th to 1st. As he comes through, he's battling with Pecco Bagnaia. The two Grassinis are side by side. Alex v. Mark going out wide. There's an Ea Bastianini trying to cut back through, not working out. Was Marco Bezzecchi. He's battling with Pedro Acosta. Martin, though, leads the race from Bagnaia second as we come out of turn 7. Now it's the long run down to Scarpello at turn 8. Martin knows he's going to have to go defensive. Bagnaia knows he's got an opportunity to dive through on the inside. He does not. Well, that's exactly how you should go, Megan. As up the inside, that's an Ea Bastianini making the move on Marco Bezzecchi and Pedro Acosta. It's 4 wide further back.
Right, do you know, was it Morbidelli who had the problem where it jumped?
Yeah.
Well, I think, do you know that thing they have to push down?
Oh, I'm sorry. Alex Marquez clipping the back of Fabio Quartararo, coming out of turn 9 into 10. Almost caused a problem as we come into turn 11 as well. Mark's already on the back of Bezzecchi.
Yeah, I think that thing was like too far down because you notice how it jumped
The whole
up.
shot device, yeah.
Yeah, it's jumped up suddenly.
Yeah, Morbidelli was lucky to keep that upright and stay in 3rd position. He had the problem that Bagnaia did a week ago and now they're gone.
He seemed to know as well because you notice how he, compared to everyone else, he kept his head down.
Yeah, he knew that he would have to fight the bike as well and it was going to come up. I'd love to get a replay of the start as Martin nearly touches the green at the exit of the first lap then. They're all stuck together, which is nice to see. Brad Binder's in 4th position, keeping it in as well. Look at Marc Marquez, just focusing on Marco Bezzecchi coming through the first 2 corners, taking wider lines. He's ready to slip back through somewhere. Bezzecchi not looking comfortable as we head down the back stretch.
Right, on board with Marc Marquez right now, and they really are all very close together, and I think I see Paul Espargaro trying to make a move.
Paul's dropped down to 17th position from his starting area as well. They've all had a difficult time. There they are at the back, yeah. Someone go down there. I thought I heard something in the back of my earshot. Maybe not, as they come down to turn 8.
Just the car starting.
Ah, right, okay. So they come through. That's very misleading from outside the commentary box area as well. So here's Martin. He's got 4/10 advantage to Bagnaia. There's Brad Binder. Binder and Acosta, sort of the only 2 out of a Ducati runaround. They are all literally just sort of going, okay, let's just see what happens now.
Just like, cross your fingers, though not for riders, because that would not be wise.
Well, for Pecco Bagnaia, this is the worst possible thing that could happen. He needed to start closing in on points to Martin by winning this race.
Oh,
Has not worked out. Digi's down. He's
right
coming
there.
in. So he's lost it on entry. Yeah,
See? There he
is.
is.
Antonio crashes out of the Tissot sprint then from a 12th position. The front end buckles in at turn 3rd. Passing corners. He might actually be able to rejoin, and he has done.
It didn't actually hit the gravel. It stopped just short of it.
So he just lost the front of 14.
I told you, just losing it, but can continue.
Yeah, Martin has done a 131.3, Bagnaia 131.236, so Bagnaia's faster. Morbidelli is closing in on that on last year's motorcycle. The top two GP24s, though, back at the front on a circuit where they have data. Guess what happens? And next weekend as well, Marquez is going to have data of 3 times as much. So when we're back here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in a few weeks as a double header, we are going to be in for a Marc Marquez treat. But I was expecting Bagnaia to win this. But of course, the king of the sprints, Martin, has won 14 of them over the 2 years. Of course he's in the lead.
Yeah, is it just me or do I smell petrol? I mean, I get the cars running, but that's a lot of petrol as well.
Oh, great. Don't they? And that, we're in a box full of electrics. If we blow up, that'll make YouTube sensation, won't it?
Should I go tell them what?
No, it'll be fine. It's just the car exhaust, probably.
It's a lot of petrol.
If we explode, then we'll have a problem. If we
get constant updates.
if we explode, YouTube I think might know and might help. Anyway, back. God, it is a strong smell, like you said, isn't it?
Yeah.
But something threw up there from Marc Marquez. I text them just in case, actually, because that is a very strong smell coming through where we are. So as we just get carbon monoxide poisoned with a coach as well. Into lap 4 we go. 10 to go. Martin leads by 0.3 of a second. Bagnaia in second. Morbidelli's in 3rd place at the moment, but Enea Bastianini and Brad Binder are battling over 4th position. They're closed in as well. Right back with Pedro Acosta. Those 3 in a tow. Then it's Jack Miller, Marc Marquez and Marco Bezzecchi for 7th place as well. Into the pit lane has come Stefan Bradl. He has come in, but Jorge Martin has been given a track limits warning by the stewards. Wow, okay. So Martin has been given a warning by the stewards that he is going too much over the line as Acosta tries to come the inside there of... well, that's Binder, because Bastianini's got through on Binder. He's made the move there as well. There's the confirmation that Martin's got the track limits warning. Bastianini has passed Binder. We didn't see it on TV pictures.
Why is he getting track limits? Why are you trying so hard? I mean, I get it's 2/10 difference, but still, even if you make one mistake.
Both of the Prima Promax are having track limits warning. Acosta and Miller now getting the same thing.
Huh.
So they must have done it 3 times running.
So they're all seeming to have a lot of difficulty with everything.
Yeah.
Everything seems okay, apparently. Just not in here.
Oh, well, we'll see what happens. Only with 10 to go, plus I'm here till 6. Something like that. Yeah, we'll think about that. So there's a couple of hours to go. SHT says Bradl's day is done just like that. iFan says Marc Marquez 93 as well.
Bezzecchi crashes out.
And that is, you just see him dropped underneath from Marc Marquez in the rear camera. Coming out of turn 2, the front end buckles away.
Same thing as the team, though.
I don't think that's in the middle of the circuit. I will be alarmed if it is. Because
I think it is.
Oh, the bike's caught
that's
fire. So he's just dipped out from underneath him. Do you know what I reckon? Oil on the bike there, and it's caught fire. Yeah, it's caught fire.
Yeah, oil on the bike, and then it's skidding along, so sparked it.
Yeah, and just whoosh.
That's coincidental, but we smell petrol and then fire.
Binder versus Acosta. Acosta on the inside line, coming into turn number 9. They're going to really go together into 10. And through goes Pedro Acosta, passing Brad Binder for 5th place with a chef kiss move to slip through on the inside line. Bezzecchi is okay, but that bike is on fire. Local yellows at turn 1 then. And there, I believe, are meatball flags out. So there is a slippery surface flag out.
Oil.
Down on that part of the circuit. So there is oil down. We're about to see, 20 bikes fly through that part of the track.
That ain't good.
We'll see if anybody goes down. Wouldn't it be a shame if it wouldn't be interesting if Martin goes down and Bagnaia gets the 12 points and everything sort of closes up into tomorrow's Grand Prix?
That would be funny.
Well, one always crash at opposite times. Martin crashing in races. Bagnaia crashing in sprints. Only a coincidence crashed last time out. Through 1 and 2 now. Looks to be okay. We understand it's on the ulterior layout of this circuit, where there is the rallycross section of the circuit where there is oil that we also use for Formula E.
So we're
when we race
fuels.
here. Yes. Yeah. Just checking that as they come through. So Martin leads a second now. Well, that does not look like a second, does it? That's wrong. That's what, 3 tenths per second. Yeah, 3 tenths.
3 tenths. Now 2.
So again, we're going to have a close battle as well. Lap 6 of 13, effectively half distance.
3.
Someone moved up the order there, and I didn't see who it was. I'm keeping
4.
an eye out on the running order.
1.
No, I couldn't see it moved up. I think it's Miller and Marquez. There we go. Viñales passing Alicia Spargo for 11th position. So the two Aprilias swap over as they come down towards turn 10 and 11, flicking through at 11. That's the top of the J section on this circuit. Literally, we just race in a J.
Not good. Yeah, true.
It's my circuit.
Not a good day for the R46s.
No, both are down at the back. Bezecchi's out of the race. D'Antonio is down in 21st position after falling earlier on. So in their home race, they're not doing very well. They get 2 home races, but I bet they're going to say, yeah, but this is San Marino. Yes, we're in Rimini, our home race, but actually, it's the Emilia-Romagna that you need to really be going like, that's our home race in 2 weeks' time. And there's a test here on Monday as well. Oh, slidey between them all.
Do you know what? A surprising amount of people in MotoGP come from here.
Really? Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Like
a
a
lot
surprising
of them.
amount.
It's a mix of Rimini and Spain, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like they just like at school they're just like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You better say MotoGP driver.
In this area, it literally is like, what do you want to grow up? Valentino Rossi, done. Rossi, done. Rossi, done. Oh, Miller's had a rear snap under braking, and Marc Marquez doesn't need to be asked twice to send it up the inside. He takes 7th position away and sets off after Brad Binder for 6th place. And Marc moves up with a stellar move on the inside left in towards turn 9. Now we're taking a look at the race leaders coming through turn 13. The gap in the championship will stand as 26 points. So even if Martin crashes out tomorrow's race and Bagnaia wins, the gap will still be 1 point. So Martin's now starting to take away this championship, and Bagnaia knows it. They were running out of time. There's not that many races left.
There's not. And is that Augusto Fernandez getting track limits?
It is. Augusto in the 37 getting a track limits warning on the monitor. You are correct there.
Yeah, because 25 is round.
Yeah, on the Tech 3. Sorry, on the Trackhouse Aprilia. Trackhouse. Yeah, I was right, Trackhouse Aprilia. Don't know why I doubted myself there. It's because I've been...
Been a long day.
My brain already is going... all the stuff from the cars we've been calling in the Goodwood Revival. I've only done one Goodwood Revival race myself today, but yeah, we're on, I think, for the rest. Hopefully, this race is over in the next 12 minutes and we can go across straight over back to the St Mary's Trophy for touring cars.
And D'Antonio anticipates.
And out goes Digi, so both VR46 Ducatis are out of this race. It gets worse and worse and worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're not having a great time of it.
They really are not. Anything you can do, I can do better.
If you're not a VR46, apparently.
So that's what,
Or
20 riders left. Kiki Nakagami is the last. Alex Rins, fighting injury, he's 19th. If you're just joining us for the first time today and wondering where Juan Mir is, he is not racing due to his gastroenteritis. It has got very much worse overnight.
We wish him well.
Yes, we do. We sympathise. And he has withdrawn from the event.
Yeah, because that's not going to be
Not the only thing withdrawing from him, but still. You don't want to... The last thing you want with that is to be bouncing on top of a motorcycle.
Yeah.
It would be hell.
But it always gets worse before it gets better, so the fact that it's got worse is a good sign.
And he'll still get to race here because he'll be here back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The riders are actually staying in Rimini for the 2 weeks. They've got the test tomorrow and then they're staying in for a week. Yeah, they're all going on holiday here. I think they're all off to Rossi's ranch as well, quite a lot of them. Marc Marquez is not allowed. Surprise, surprise. Speaking of which, despite him being a Ducati rider.
Isn't Rossi having another daughter?
I believe so, yeah.
Got a team in the making.
get them into the WRC early on and then get them into Moto 3, then into Moto 2, then into Moto GP. And
just like you're a Rossi. This is what we do.
I would really love if Valentino Rossi's daughters became the first ever female motorcycle world champions.
That would be
in the
perfect.
Premier class.
I kind
it
of
would
feel
be so
like
justice.
I kind of feel like that's been his aim. It's
Yeah.
like as soon as he had a daughter, he's just like, perfect. Guess what we're having? Let me guess, another girl.
The most successful male and the most successful female will be Rossi's. That'd be quite something, actually. We're stalling because Marc Marquez is umming and ahhing about passing Binder, which is quite surprising, considering that it's Marc Marquez and Brad Binder. Down to turn 11.
Do you know what I've noticed? Quite a lot of the motorsport community, when they have children, they end up having girls.
Yeah. Well,
A lot of them.
Marino Franchitti's son won the Stonington Cup, the pedal car race earlier on. Marc Marquez sent it up the inside, down at turn 14 on Brad Binder. He was planning that for so long. I was watching the monitor while talking to you, Megan. I could just see him wheeling him in. And then, okay, I'll brake slightly later, leave the brake and clutch out, and away we go.
Something that tells me he's been fishing.
Yeah, well, Marc Marquez knows how to fish. He's got his racing bug back, hasn't he? His race-winning bug. I'm impressed by Franco Morbidelli here. After that bad start, still in third position, after the terrible season he's had. This is really good from him before he leaves next year.
It is, especially going up against Passionini.
Yeah, Pole's up into 14th. He's passed Johan Zarco. As things stand, by the way, if this was the race tomorrow, Zarco would pick up a point for Honda. So that's something to keep your eye on, to be fair.
3 points now.
No, he's really past Pole. Damn.
Yes. That's a good thing for him.
Not for Pole. Pole's been... Pole crashed in qualifying and in practice too, so yeah.
I'd rather Pole get one, obviously due to my...
Bias?
Yes, against Honda.
Well, I'll keep it together.
One of them are out, the other's in last place, and then there's Zarco. Why are you at Honda? Better than this.
And then there's Mard. And then there's Mard.
And then there's Zarco.
Let's have a look at the start then, Megan. You take us through Franco Morbidelli.
Oh, look. Is it Martin? That's still...
No, there's Martin. Look at Morbidelli. There's one twitch. And there's the second twitch,
Yeah, you can
mid-straight.
see him jump up.
Almost hit Pedro Costa.
Yeah, it was very tight into that corner. Oh, a little bit of contact there at the back.
Didn't see who with, though.
It was near a VR46.
So that was Nakagami alongside. This is Binder and his live launch. Binder got a great start, but Martin from fourth to first.
Just
Morbidelli too. Go on.
He was just like, do you know what? I see a good way about this. Just like, go right through.
Al says, go Fabio from Indonesia. Hello. And SHT says, this will be Morbidelli's first MotoGP podium in how long if he does finish third? About 2 years?
Jeez. Alex Marquez track limits. Can we just talk quickly about how many of the field have track limits?
The top 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, hello.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the remaining 20.
So it's easy to say who doesn't have a track limits warning, and that's Marc Marquez, Brad Binder, Aleix Espargaro, Miguel Oliveira, Ralph Fernandez, Luca Marini, and Alex Rins.
Oh, and Zarco.
Oh, and does Zarco not have one? Yeah,
Yeah.
Zarco too. Everybody else has track limits warning, which is quite ridiculous, to be fair, because you can see how close it's getting.
It is. And just look at all that. Despite us having 3 instances, it's just all track limits.
Yeah, the messages are just track limits, track limits, track limits, track limits to put in the comment box.
It's
on the
like that
monitor.
fateful day that we had so many lap time deletions in the F1 race.
Oh, what was it, like 1,000? Something stupid like that?
Something like that.
It was 70 laps and we had like 1,000 deletions.
And it was running like 20 laps behind.
It took us...
Was that another?
Yes, it was. Augusto Fernandez has been given a long lap penalty for track limits. So he's now broken of that. And it is due to extreme track limits, yes.
Long lap penalty. He said something else about long lap penalty. It came up twice.
Long lap penalty for exceeding track limits.
Yeah, but it came up a second time.
It's flashed up twice.
Maybe if you missed it, here it is.
It flashed up once telling us, and then it flashed up again with the reason why. It's a really bizarre system.
Why can't they just put it on field?
Yeah. Zul says, go Marc Marquez. He's in P6 at the moment, 4/10 behind Pedro Costa, so he is pushing. 2 laps to go.
And one of the only ones not to have...
Binder, track limits warning. So that's now
7
to 11, yeah. 7-11. So there's a shop opening there. What's the point of 7-Eleven?
Why do they have a
It's open 7
lowercase
days a
n?
week, 11 hours?
Apparently. Must be.
That's not really good with business, is it?
Why do they have a lowercase n?
I have no idea what's going on.
Who thought of that? It's not...
Morbidelli's going to get passed by an Air Bastianini here, coming through down into turn 14. It's the same as Marc Marquez. Oh, Morbidelli sees it coming there and shuts that door.
Not only do they have one number and one word number, but they also have the word number having all capital letters except the last one, N, lowercase.
Standing up
Same
there
size.
onto the last lap. Well, Martin has a 1.5 second advantage. The battle for third is brewing up as an Air Bastianini tries to look round the outside of Franco Morbidelli to the first corner. Did not work out. He'll try and slipstream him as much as possible, though. So it kind of is working, kind of isn't, Megan.
This actually might work out. And long lap penalty again for Augusto Fernandez. Why have you come up a second time?
Well, it's a case of one, case of the other.
Oh, due to incorrect long lap.
Oh, you're joking me.
Yep. He did it wrong. How do you do it wrong?
Must have touched that line exterior of the circuit, and it cost up. Bastianini sends it up the inside in turn 8 on Franco Morbidelli and retakes third, but goes too long. Morbidelli gets the comeback, pulls the throttle and goes back through to third.
Woohoo.
We want Morbidelli to get this podium. It's like when Danny Pedrosa had it last year here. Do you remember? Oh no, you weren't here. Jess was. It was Julia with me in the box for that one.
But I watched it from a distance.
Yes.
So, we need Morbidelli.
Is Yamaha making progress? Well, they're P9 at the moment with Fabio Quartararo. So
Better
yes,
than usual.
it very much is.
Not better than a couple of years ago. But
Well, Marc Marquez has passed Pedro Acosta for 5th place. They've made that position clear. Morbidelli's only got a few more corners left before it's sweet number 15 in sprint racing. There's Marc on the inside. Acosta trying to fight back, carrying down the outside. That's a battle to the line. Jorge Martin, though, will extend the championship advantage at the front. It's 26 not out. 15th sprint race win for Jorge Martin in Moto GP. Pecco Bagnaia is second, and Franco Morbidelli gets the podium in third with a fantastic race. 4th for Bastianini. Marc Marquez is 5th. Then it's Acosta, Binder, Miller, the points final out. Before then, Quartararo, Alex Marquez, Vinales, Aleix Espargaro, Augusto Fernandez, Zarco, Paul Espargaro, Oliveira, Ralph Fernandez, Marini, Rins and Nakagami, D'Antonio Bezzecchi and Bradle are out of the race, and damn!
they started it 8 minutes early. And also, in the top 11, Marc Marquez, the only one not to have a track limits warning.
They've started the St Mary's Trophy 8 minutes early, which means we can't interrupt it. So...
Oh, well, we can do our commentary on it later when we do it.
No, because it's live.
I know, but we can...
Oh, I can't be bothered.
So we're not doing it.
We get St Mary's Trophy tomorrow as well. There's 2.
Oh, that's perfect then. Obviously, we weren't meant to do this one.
Why have they started it 8 minutes
I don't
early?
know. It said it would start at half past
2, yeah.
But then they did it 8 minutes early.
That's a surprise. Let's hope for a red flag. I've just looked down at the monitor and it was on. Oh, well.
Well, session will not be restarted.
That was the
That's the previous
Ford
one, right?
Water Trophy, yeah.
Oh, I reckon that's why they've
Drizzle.
started it. They're doing it before it fully rains.
So that means you can join me for the Magic Cup.
When's that?
An hour.
Do I have to?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Magic is GT cars.
We'll see.
So the
But
Ford GT40s, that sort of thing.
I'm not feeling...
What a race.
Well
Look at that. 2 seconds fast, 2.2 seconds faster than last year's sprint time. So
Yeah,
last year's
faster and
sprint time,
faster.
19 minutes, 58 seconds. This year's 19 minutes, 56 seconds. Martin won both and did it 2 seconds faster than last year.
There's a lot of twos.
That is quite good, actually, as well. Final thoughts on the sprint, Max?
I thought it was very good, and also I just realised that technically if you add up all his things, it adds up to 8.
Okay, well, there might be a safety car in this race, and if there is, we'll change over and take over. If not, we'll leave you to it. Thanks for your company. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll be redirected to the Goodwood Revival. So take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Before that, this is Marc Marquez on Pietro Acosta, sent up the inside on the last lap, and that was why Marc Marquez finished in 5th. Nice move.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, sweet move as well. Thanks for your company then. We'll be back tomorrow. Reminder, Moto E is up next. Well, we'll just leave it for Moto E then. Yeah, it'll be easier.
Yeah. What?
Can't do the Magic Cup. Moto E.
Obviously, we're not meant to do these things. There was a change around there.
Augusto Fernandez. Penalised down to 16th place.
Yep.
Right, that's it. I'm taking over the...
3-second penalty.
I'm taking over the St Mary's Trophy. I want to call some Goodwood action. Martin wins. Bagnaia second. Morbidelli third. We'll see you tomorrow for all the action. Take care. Bye-bye. So you're back up now with us here in the comms box. This is live. Hello, everybody. So that was the Moto GP sprint race. What an interesting day that was as well on Saturday. Now, we'll bring you Moto E action later on in the day as well. But next up, we'll have the Moto 3 Grand Prix of San Marino as well. Hello, everybody watching. Hope you're enjoying it. So interesting to pick up on some of the action that's happened as well. I'm going to take a few moments because we have had quite an interesting morning here, with Maverick Vinales going down at turn 3, just dipping it on the bike as well. Thankfully, everyone was okay. But I feel like it's important to just catch up on what happened, because this morning wasn't that great. There wasn't a lot of information that came out. Not a lot of riders wanted to go out, so I think it's important just to give you at home the status updates that what we had from this morning. Well, let's start off with the big one. It did start off wet. Test days are important. Spare a thought for Marc Marquez. Didn't have much time to enjoy his Aragon win because there was a race a few days later, and now he's having to do a bit of overtime after his day here in San Marino. He doesn't have much to try today aside from some different setup ideas, but that will be important, as he admitted he still has some points to discover yet on the GP23. So he's on the 23 bike right now, but he will be testing the 24 bike later on in the day as well. Nobody went out for ages as well. Pedro Costa went out for a look at the conditions as well. He did a lap time of a 1:33 on the overall lap time. Quartararo then went faster at 10:25, 11:25 over there in Misano. He did a 1:32.9. Luca Marini is back after his off, but he's back doing some small test rides today. Turn 12 accident for Maverick Vinales before he went through. Zarco has put a blunt demand to Honda, saying, I know we'll try aerodynamic things and chassis because we need to change big things to make, well, the bike. The project at the moment, this 2024 project, doesn't work at all. I mean, it's not competitive, so we need to go down another direction to open new doors. It was announced late last night that Repsol are leaving Honda, the factory HRC team as well. They are leaving, will not be renewing their contract, which means it's the end of such a legendary series partnership between Repsol and Honda. That as well is the huge news leaving from this weekend. Came out the blue as well, so Honda really are struggling. Binder went quickest later on as well. Fabio Di Giannantonio is sitting out today's test as he recovers from a shoulder injury. Johan and Luca Marini, both missed yesterday's race, are back today as well. Brad Binder, with their test plan today, said, from what I understand, Pol Espargaro is on quite a different package. Priority number 1 is to try that, test that, see what my first impression is of the package that Pol has been working on over the weekend in Misano. Secondly, it would be great if we can improve and find things that help us to improve right now. It's a long season. Anything we can find to help us this season would be very much appreciated as well. Acosta and Marquez both went down just before the morning session concluded, with Martin, Acosta and Morbidelli the top in the order. And then a bit of gossip here. Jack Miller and Augusto Fernandez are only doing half a day each today for KTM. After all, they both leave at the end of the season. Danny Pedrosa is testing their 2025 bits and bobs. Quiet at Yamaha, they've benefited from extra tests due to the concessions rules. However, they lost some of that time due to the weather. Aprilia are determined to solve their problems with the stopping of the bike with electrical issues, and there's a lot of aero being tested on the Hondas. Aleix Espargaro, you saw that on the screen earlier on, saying what he's doing today, struggling to stop the bike, a lack of grip as well. We have ideas to change, to try the settings for the next round. I don't think we have many new parts here, but we'll see. So it's benefiting actually that we've done one race here, now we're testing here, 2 weeks time we're back again here doing the run around. So this is actually actually working out brilliantly for the teams to really understand if what they test here can be made better at the circuit in a week's time. So this is fantastic coverage out here as well. We'll bring you an update then in around about 40 minutes or so. This is live. Yes, we are live. Hello. It's not live on TV. There is no footage of this test. It's a pure online-only test, so we're bringing you as much wraparound coverage of the test we can. This morning's session, as I said, not much happened, so we didn't cover that. We are covering this afternoon's final session as well, but that's the last bit of me live for around about 45 minutes. Now, what we're going to do is turn on our radio coverage that we did. If you watched it, the watch-along coverage. This was our Moto 3 coverage of the San Marino Grand Prix for the weekend yesterday, and that's coming up now. So I'll be back in around about 40 minutes' time, as well, to be precise with you, 45 minutes exactly. So we'll see you then. Enjoy the blog and the live timing information as well, and we'll listen in the background. You can turn it all off. Just have the timings on in the background where you work, or if you want to hear and catch up with Moto 3, you can do that now. Here it is then, the Moto 3 San Marino Grand Prix. It's round 13 of the Moto 3 World Championship in 2024. Welcome to the Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli for 20 laps of this amazing circuit to see who's going to be victorious. David Alonso on pole position. He has such a lead in the championship. Let's head down to Susie Perry on the grid.
Everybody at home going, he's 8 years old. He does look really young, doesn't he? Behind him, Angel Piqueras, talking of rookies. And actually, when we drove out of the track last night, he was just standing with all the punters on his own. And we were both like, what's he doing? What's he doing then? We were staring at him. And do you know what he did? He saw us, he clocked it, and he just winked at us, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He winked at you. He completely blanked me in the back, giving him thumbs up. Obviously, you were sat in the front seat, as you always are. So, yeah.
The point is, uber cool, but he has got that double long lap penalty, but he goes from fourth.
Yeah, and he deserves that penalty. Yeah, it was...
that was on Scott,
Scott Ogden in the second practice. Sorry, the first practice yesterday. He roared through the side of Scott Ogden, took his handlebars out of his hand, and it was a very, very fast, scary crash for poor Scott Ogden. He got ragdolled in the gravel, and he'll definitely be sore today. So, yeah, double long lap penalty. But he's got superb pace, as Piqueras. Look, he's looked very fast all weekend. Can he do it from a double lap penalty? Well, we've seen other people do it. It just depends if there's a group or not.
Just looking at Filippo Farioli there, goes from the middle of the fourth row. Scott, by the way, goes from the middle of the seventh row in 20th, which was such a shame because he's obviously terribly beaten up from that crash, but we know that he, can be good around this track.
Yeah, he likes his track, and he was having a good weekend right up to that point. That's why it's so annoying, because obviously it takes all your momentum is gone. But the way he rolled in the gravel, I mean, he'll be... The problem is, because the crash was yesterday, it's always the second day your injuries feel worse. Sometimes when you've just done them, you're still full of adrenaline throughout that day. You wake up this morning, you've got sprained ankles, you've got proper whiplash, really beaten up. So, yeah, he's going to earn his money today, Scott.
Let's hope a little bit of adrenaline can kick in and get him round here then, as we look at Ryusi Yamanaka. Jose Antonio Rueda, winner last time out, going from 12th. It's not been that great a weekend so far for him, has it?
No, not at all. I mean, he's got slightly better pace than certainly the fourth row of the grid. I don't know what happened in qualifying. It was like he never got a clean lap. I kept my eye on him, and but actually, if you look around him, look how close the times are. It's ridiculous. Like 1/10 of a second would put him up like 6 places. So yeah, it's tight around that part.
Could Adrian Fernandez be a dark horse this weekend?
Yep, super aggressive. The Hondas look like they've made a step, so it's quite nice to see his teammate Piqueras and Lunetta on the Honda on the front row of the grid. This championship's been dominated by the KTM, but the Hondas, like I say, have found something, and on this track they seem to be working well. So if you put Adrian Fernandez in the fight, he'll get his elbows out. He's one of the very aggressive young Spanish riders coming
I'm
through.
guessing you're going to tip David Alonso for the win.
I'll take a gamble, yeah, I'll go on that. How about yourself?
Yeah, well, I don't think you can look past him, to be honest, around here. It's his to lose, that's for sure, as we look at the front row of the grid. Then in terms of the weather, it's very humid down here, Gavin. Michael should be alongside you now to commentate on this.
Well, this is going to be quite interesting. We've got wet weather coming in the air. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen next. It sounds perfect then for a Moto 3 Grand Prix at Misano. Here it is then, ready to go. The Moto 3 Grand Prix of Misano. This is your lining up order. David Alonso on pole position from Luca Lunetta in second. Ivan Ortola lines up third. Angel Piqueras has an irresponsible riding during practice 2, taking out Scott Ogden. He has a double long lap penalty. Colin Vire is 5th, Joe Kelso 6th, and Daniel Holgado 7th. Adrian Fernandez 8th, and Tasso Forasato 9th. Nepa 10th, Ferroli 11th, Ruda in 12th. Yamanaka 13th, from Munoz 14th, Rossi in 15th. Bertoletti is 16th with Rulstone 17th. Perez takes 18th on the grid. It's 19th for Almanza with Ogden down in 20th. Caro takes 21st. Zurazita is 22nd from Suzuki 23rd. And 24th for Joel Esteban. Deltweiler 25th. Takahon Boralasi is 26th. And Jacob Rulseller is in 27th position. Humid here at Misano. Air temperature 31 degrees Celsius, ground temperature 33, 7 km/h wind, 49% chance of rain at the moment, but that's coming. The rain is rising, the atmosphere is building. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen next here in San Marino. Grandstands filling up nicely. Everyone loves it here. Let's check in with our commentators. Alongside us, it is Gavin Emmett alongside Michael Laverty.
What as it did yesterday, despite being actually a few degrees lower in ambient temperature, but it is the humidity that makes it feel tough for the riders. I think it will be a physical race. The majority of the riders have ended up on the soft SC1 rear, and yeah, the medium SC2 seems to be the favourite option on the front. So yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag across the board. You look across the front row and you've got Alonso on the harder front option, softer rear. Then Lunetta in the middle going for soft front, soft rear, and then you go all the way across and it's harder front, harder rear for Ortola. So complete mixed bag across the front row of the grid. It sounded like Lunetta was confident there that they've made the right choice with the soft front, soft rear, so he feels obviously the increased turning on the Honda chassis will play into his hands. Yeah, remains to be seen which is the stronger option over distance, though.
I think they'd know as well, wouldn't you? What usually happens here, you can do everything in prep for this race. They can see it's so warm, actually. It's as warm as it's been throughout the weekend, but there's no sun bearing down on the track. So while it's 31 degrees, the track itself is only at 33. And when you get into a Moto 3 race, Michael, it's going to be a group. You're not going to be able to run the kind of pace you might have expected. And I can feel like a David Alonso sitting there until 3 laps from the end.
Yeah, we've seen it so many times this year, Alonso's ability to keep his powder dry, keep his tyre underneath him, and then whenever he needs to, he winds the wick up. And I've heard him talk about it in podcasts and the like. That's his strategy. He knows there's a window when to use the energy from the tyre and his physical energy, and that puts everyone else under pressure. So I can see it being a great race with a little bit of strategy from those clever riders, the likes of an Alonso, Colin Vire, or Tola, just deciding how things pan out.
We're all set then, ready to go for the Moto 3 Grand Prix. The tension is rising. The atmosphere is going to be through the roof as well, actually, down towards the first corner. Tight chicane lining up. Let's just see what's going to happen next. Keep your eyes at the back. Ready, steady. 20 laps of Misano. It's under starters orders. Lights on. Lights out, we're racing. Good start from Alonso. Luca Lunetta is going to come in behind, and then Ivan Ortola slots into 3rd position. Piqueras with his long lap penalties, remember, doesn't have to serve the opening lap as he comes round into turn 1, and that's going to be Piqueras straight up into the lead of the race. Big accident further behind. 3, 4, 5 riders down. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a red flag situation as well. Huge accident. It's Ruda, Munoz, Rossi, Yamanaka involved in that one as well. Right in the centre of the pack. Would not be surprised if it's a red flag. 2 getting away as well. Ruda with no front bodywork. He'll have to come in and out of the race as well. So that is a biggie. It's Ruda, Munoz and Rossi. The three officially have gone down. Ortola up into second position, getting ahead of David Alonso, who has a 3-race advantage in the championship. He's 75 points clear to anybody else. Race starting. Incidents currently under investigation between Ruda, Munoz and Rossi. The yellow flags have come in, no sign of the reds. Barassi battling with Caro as well, so a good start as they head on down in towards turn 11. Holgado moves up into third position. Paqueras though may lead, but he's got the long lap penalty, so watch out for Ivan Ortola and what he can do with Holgado, who's now ahead of Alonso. So Alonso, for the first time in 4 races, is now losing points. That's something that hasn't happened in a very, very long time. There's the confirmation of Paqueras' long lap penalty. As Rossi, we already know he's crashed out. Why the time is telling us that now, I do not know. Because it seems to be getting a little bit out of hand. But across the line then, there's the official confirmation. 19 laps to go this one. And Paqueras will hold off Ivan Ortola. Holgado's third, Alonso fourth, Ferrasato's up to fifth, Lanetta down into sixth position, Nepa seventh, Kelso eighth, Adrian Fernandez ninth, Vaya rounds out the top 10, Felipe Ferroli in 11th position as we come in towards turn 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6. They all lose back up at the back of the circuit. Paqueras still having the gumption down the straight, opens up that throttle, gets in the slipstream as well, and Ortola's going to have a little look. Holgado's looking to the inside as well. Holgado's going to take second position away from Ivan Ortola up the inside line at turn 8. The left-hand side corner, he's going to have a go. Paqueras doesn't need to have a go because Paqueras, with that double long lap penalty, he'll soon feel the brunt of it. For Asato via Lunetta further back as well. They're changing over. Rulestone passing Almanza. Nepa passing Forasato as well. On the back stretch they come. Holgado up 5 places. Almanza up 6. 8 places for Tatsuki Suzuki. Now 9 as he gets ahead of David Almanza. Lead changings at the front once again. Holgado now takes it. Paqueras down to second. He's trying to go back up the inside, and he does exactly what he did to Scott Ogden. Dives through the inside line and makes Holgado check up. Paqueras obviously not learning his lesson. That's why he has double long lap penalty. Riders 31 and 58, a jump start. So that's Fernandez and Lunetta, who might have a double long lap penalty. They're all sending the fast laps down towards turn 1. Ortola takes the lead on the inside line. It's a right-hander at turn 1. Paqueras in second. Holgado third as they continue to ride through. Jump start for Lunetta and Adrian Fernandez. They've been given double long lap penalties by the stewards. Stefano Nepa down into 9th position with Colin Vire moving up into 10th as well. Not a bad start so far, as they'll try and hold it together and keep it through. Fingers crossed it's going to be good. Let's head back to the radio.
Knowing that there was a little movement before the light went out.
So, as we thought, David Alonso just keeping his powder dry at this stage. Fastest rider on track is MLAV Honda's Vicente Perez down in 16th. Here we go. Angel Paqueras deciding to make the move now. Stay away from the green lines. It will be a little bit dirty. The grip is, well, that's the old racetrack, isn't it, before it was resurfaced. Will be a little bit sketchy out there, but both the Leopard riders have done it cleanly enough, and Adrian Fernandez rejoins behind Scott Ogden. Angel Paqueras rejoins behind Tatsuki Suzuki, so it's down to 13th for Paqueras, down to 19th for Fernandez. Lunetta deciding not to take it on this occasion.
Fernandez up the inside of Tali Suratuza, so yeah, almost puts him out onto the green paint. Wasting no time in regaining the spot. Adrian Fernandez, he's known for his aggressive nature on track and living up to it today.
So the front of the field is Ortola from Holgado, Lunetta in third. There is the gap back, slight gap to Furasato with Alonso, and then Joel Kelso, who has had you talked to him on the grid, tough weekend, but pulled it out when he needed to in qualifying. He's just got to here. I'd just sit.
Horrific weekend, more like. Alonso now leading by 66 points at the moment. Definitely on the right path. Ortola leading to Holgado. Lanetta now in third, but has that penalty. So does Fernandez. So we've already had one for Piqueras take his long lap penalty. You have to do another one. Dropped him down to 12th place. I'll do a second, and we'll see where that gets him to. Ortola with the fastest lap, a 1:41.386 then. That's what the stewards have said. Kind of predicted that as they continue on the attack. And there is Forasato as well. Hang on a minute. Piqueras takes, and Fernandez. Yeah, Piqueras and Fernandez take his long lap penalty then from the stewards. So that gets that sorted out nicely as they come back through.
Adjust your line for riders. The racing line, you're rejoining the track, and it's up to you to make a safe re-entry. So using the paint is a safe re-entry.
Right, Joel Kelso made the move on Alonso, and I wonder if he's going to make the move on Forasato, because he's seen Ortola and Holgado out front. Alonso is trying to box clever here, you get that feeling. Different tyre options between these two. Ortola with the harder option, the medium tyre, and the softer option for Holgado. So it's not like they're both on the soft or something like that.
Yeah, this is good for Ortola to have the harder options in both ends of the machine, front and rear, and leading at this point, and with a 1.5 seconds advantage over David Alonso, 1.6 as they cross the line between Ortola and David Alonso, who's probably still his main threat for the victory today, but Ortola's having a different strategy, so just putting his head down early doors and seeing if he can catch the un-Colombian, napping a little bit in these early laps, perhaps.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the lap times. Ortola and Holgado was a 41.5, 41.6 from the pair of them, not much to choose between them. For Forasato, 41.7. So Kelso did match the leader's time on that last lap, and so Alonso now using a little bit of slipstream to attack Kelso. Just need to work together here. They will have the slipstream. They'll have the effect of it now, and Alonso now does make that move. Classic one here at Misano.
Yeah, back up the inside. Nothing really wrong with that one. Just a simple move. Holgado is chasing after Ortola. The gap just a tenth of a second as they come through turn 11. So it's Alonso, Forasato, Kelso. That's the battle there. Alonso keeping in third position. Lanetta has completed his long lap penalty. So has Fernandez. So has Piqueras. Then we have Rosala has a track limits warning as well. Just flashed upon our timing monitor. Suzuki gets ahead up the order as well. He's in 9th position, so he's made up 2 places as well at the start. Our man's in 11th position, Ralstone in 12th. Ivan Ortola leading this race then to Holgado in P2. Over the line we go then. There's Alonso with 72 just behind him. Are they going to be a little bit more careful under braking in towards that first corner? A little bit so. But yeah, Ortola having an advantage at the front, to be fair. 0.2 of a second down. So Holgado is still there, ready to close in on if there's any action to watch out for. So gap now 1.6 seconds Holgado has to Alonso. Not the typical Moto3 race we're used to once again. Second weekend running we're having these issues because, well, nobody knows how to ride in these conditions on Pirelli tyres in Moto3. They're close, but they're starting to separate. So a 2-horse race at the front instead of the traditional lot. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts as to what we're going to see. And this plaster, really annoyingly, so it's just coming off. Didn't work. Really annoying. Off it goes. Ah, it's better. Now that really annoying thing happened. I've got a bit of thing on my hand and yeah, it didn't work. Suzuki passes Stefano Neppa for 8th position. Bertoletti's in 9th. Oh, that feels so much better. Here's the race start there, Michael.
In the pack race and keeping, they see it.
It was is he over the line?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
It didn't look, whether he rolled a little bit when you watch that shot, it didn't look like a big jump, to be honest.
Not that, it was smooth.
The line judges are there. The cameras will have a better look at this.
Here we go. No, it was a little.
That is minimal.
Oh, I mean, that is minute. That reminds me of Cal Crutchlow that time in Argentina.
No, he did jump it.
I didn't see Adrian Fernandez on that occasion, but poor old Luca Lanetta down in 17th now.
There's the crash.
When Jos de Rueda and Rossi in the mix, You've got Munoz on the inside. Oh, Munoz just goes to a weird part of the racetrack. He's following Rueda's line and then cuts back to the inside and collects the back of Ricardo Rossi's bike there. I mean, that's first glance, but
need to have a better look at it. But yeah, the problem is it is a bottleneck in there for turn 2, and for the likes of Adam Alonso, if there's a little opening, doesn't matter if it's a bottleneck, he's going to try and put a front wheel in there, and unfortunately it does tighten up so tricky in lap 1 to negotiate cleanly.
Yeah, he was I don't know, he was in behind Rueda and then he jagged to the inside. I don't know, I'll have to have a proper look at it again. I'm sure that you and Neil will have a close look at the end of that one, because that's, of course, last week's race winner, Rueda, out of action and out of the race.
Holgado closing in on the back of Ortola into 10, 11, 12, and 13, down into 14, heavy braking zone on the circuit. Holgado thinks that he can make a move, stick on the inside line. Piqueras really passes Ferrari, so he's in 10th place. They close that gap. He's not out of this hunt yet for maybe even a podium. Still, I don't think that Piqueras, who caused so many problems, Scott Ogden down in 15th with points, but Piqueras getting 10th. How's that justice? And serving a penalty correctly in a race. I don't see how it has developed that way. Alonso 141.125 for the Sato 141.062. So they've swapped over places once again. Out of turn 3 down to 4 and 5 then on the circuit. Everyone just starting to think, oh, maybe there can be an overtake here. Oh, something just to jump ahead. Holgado, then it's 4 tenths to Alonso. Over the line we go again there for the second sector. Alonso is starting to close back up on these front two. It wouldn't surprise me if Alonso increases that gap to 80 points to Holgado as well at the end of this race. Ogden's in 15th position. Piqueras, fastest lap of the race on a 1:48.56. So even faster. Detweller's got a track limits warning flashing up on the monitors. Not the most interesting Moto 3 race, is it? It's a bit, I don't know, predictable. Moto 2 and Moto GP are probably going to be the wet races. And I think this is what the problem. You're seeing sort of the overall runaround, because this is the first time that we're coming in with those mixed conditions, the mixed humidity going out there on the circuit, and it's visible. It's visible that the riders are struggling to get the right grip on the track.
He's on his way on fast forward to the head of this pack, but I do agree. I think Gavi's probably going to have to use too much tyre to do it.
He would have put himself second on the grid with that lap, really. And obviously he gets slipstream in a race situation you might not get in a race. A lot more, that's possible, but it's fast. Ortola from Holgado, both moving to Moto 2 next year, as is David Alonso, these front three. And Tayo Furusato, what's your read on Furusato, Michael? Because there he is, the sole Honda in that front group, and we've seen flashes of brilliance from him at certain points this year, haven't we? Qatar, I think, back to I think of him running well in Barcelona, but crashing out. Germany was on the podium. How do you read what he's done this year?
I've been really impressed with him. Even last time out in Aragon, away with the leaders, then tyre dropped away. But he's fast, he's aggressive, he can make overtakes. And we assume he will remain with the Honda Team Asia squad, and he is a genuine title contender, I believe, in 2025. So he's took a couple of years to iron out the kinks, get rid of the crashes, which were a little bit too frequent in his early seasons, but I think right now he's maturing into a top quality contender with his old school riding style, his aggressive approach. Yeah, he lights up a race.
And I think it's fair to say for Japanese riders it's similar to what we say about, well, pretty much anyone who's not Spanish or Italian. It just takes time, doesn't it? But a young Japanese kid coming over to Europe, living in Barcelona, setting up away from family over there, that takes some getting used to, doesn't it?
It does. They have a good crew, a few Asian riders as part of the junior talent team that race the Junior GP series. Then they have Ayagura Somcat Chandra based in the Barcelona area, so they do train together. But it's a massive lifestyle shift, especially for a Japanese rider to come to Europe. Some adapt quickly, some really embrace the culture, like Norihaga. And watch Furusato. We talked about it earlier in the weekend that Ayagura loves to ride really close to the rear wheel, like Norihaga, who may well be a style guru for both these riders, because Furusawa is exactly the same. He'd be right hovering on your rear wheel. Even though he doesn't plan to pass, you can hear him all the time. He's just there attacking. And it's a unique way to ride. It requires real precision and trust in the rider in front not to make a mistake, but he can do it comfortably.
And amongst Moto 3 riders, he's already got himself a bit of a reputation, hasn't he, Furusawa?
More action coming up then in this one. Again, Ortola just 4/10 to Holgado. Holgado was right up there in turn 11 on the previous lap, and now he's just lifted off and decided, okay, I'm not going to go too much on the attack now. I'll just wait and see how it goes. Colin Vaya versus Piqueras. Piqueras really annoying me. The fact that he's up in 7th position after doing something so dangerous in the opening practice session and forced Scott Ogden into a massive accident, that he's going to pick up better result than Ogden. It doesn't make sense. The penalty system in this series is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. It shouldn't have been a double long lap. It should have been a harsher grid penalty. Ortola, however, is going very wide, coming out of turn 15 into 16 now, the last corner. Over the line we go. And honestly, Ortola so close just to riding into an accident zone. Here we go again. This is your race leaders. Holgado looks to the inside line down to turn 1. Ortola just keeping it out. I thought I heard someone scrape across the floor there. No one is officially down. Ferroli with a track limits warning. Deltweller as well. Rossola as well. Lunetta. So there's a couple coming through on the monitors. Not too bad. Nothing that would be an emergency situation to hold to. But yeah, it's a weird situation coming up. Over we go again then. And Ortola holding in positions. They'll hold together. Yeah, let's get that one now. Lead gap as well. So now they've caught up. So Alonso, Furusato and Kelso are now back with the leaders. We're watching via Piqueras. Piqueras gets ahead of Takasugi Suzuki. Matteo Bertoletti behind. David Almanza running on the top 10. Filippo Ferroli with an hour track limits warning. Flashed up on the monitor. They're towing in once more, keeping their eyes absolutely steady. And just 2 more places on the circuit. Kelso's got a 2.4 second lead, but even Via's closing in, so 5 in a hunt, then it's 6 down. Piqueras looks behind to see where Suzuki is, make sure he doesn't take out anybody else in this weekend's running. And looks like Furusato is going to have a go on Alonso. Looks like Kelso has been dropped back as well. Over the line. Holgado thinks about him on the inside. 9 to go here at the San Marino Grand Prix of Moto 3.
One victory in Malaysia. It always seems that one side of the garage that was a Yumu Sasaki's is Colin Byers this year. That's the seat that when he needs to get some performances under his belt, because there's a lot of seats up for grabs next year, and his name isn't top of the pecking order when it comes to so many fast rookies coming in as well.
We've got a front group of 5 now here, just past the halfway point in this race. 11 down, just under 9 to go, and it's Ortola from Holgado, 48 from 96. David Alonso, your championship leader, is there in 3rd on the blue bag, the number 80. Behind him, Taiyo Furusato still running really close to the back, and Joel Kelso hanging on. The gap back to Colin Vaya has just opened up a little bit more on that last lap. So all these now starting to use each other's slipstream, helping each other, and it's pulling them away from the Dutchman who's chasing.
Yeah, I think on the last lap,
here comes Furusato.
Yeah, he's been shadowing David Alonso, and he knows that David is probably just boxing clever at the moment, sat there always wide at Caro. But yeah, Taiyo Furusato's impatient. He's like, why aren't we getting involved? Why aren't we going through? Why aren't we getting stuck in? So he's deciding he's going to mix things up with Danny Holgado on the next lap.
So it's Furusato now up into 3rd place. Starting to get our track limits warnings coming through. Farioli, Carraro, Rosenthaler, Joel Esteban. And I wonder if any of these front runners will start to have it as Tayo Furusato has joined the party.
I could see this coming from the last corner. He gets a little bit excited on the bike. The body language just says, you know what, I'm getting involved. And the whole way around here, he's like, you know he's going to lead the race before the end of this lap. He just lit the blue touch paper and decided to have a go.
And you know that the riders around him go, what are you doing? Hang about, we were sat here all right. There's a long way to go, you know, Tayo here. He just threw it on the inside there, just had a feeling for it. I think you're right here. He's just got to be wary. The riders around him have got this experience they've picked up throughout this year of running at the front, week in, week out, of just where to manage with the tyres, where to put them.
Furusato is soft front and rear, but he's the only Honda in this lead group, so it tends to have an advantage in a different area of the corner and racetrack than KTM. It's holding its own as well down this straight. Obviously, you can see the top end just.
Oh, hello, Danny Olgado.
Where did he come from? On the inside.
Someone's had that into the racetrack because Danny Olgado lights the Carbone up with a move on Tayo Furusato.
It is full gas through there on a Moto 3 bike, but Holgado had to run a bit of a draft, and there was a little opening, so he just levered Furusato aside and made way for his KTM gas machine to get through.
It's like, I'm comfortable here behind Ortola, but it is Slipstream City is there, and that's the longest straight on this racetrack, fastest part of the racetrack into Carbone, and if you've got the slipstream working, almost you have to go, don't you? You almost have to, but you have to commit, which is where Piqueras got it wrong earlier this weekend.
Piqueras went at the second of the kinks, so you go through Carbone at turn 11 and into 12. There was a little opening, but not quite enough to show Scott Ogden the wheel.
Oh, it's getting very messy at the field, though. Oh, Tola holding off the front, backing up Holgado into Furusato, and then Alonso coming along as well to try and spoil the party. Down we go then, towards turn 8. Swooping up. I don't believe I'm going to say this, but Kelso's in the fight as well, but Vaya and Piqueras coming in as well. If Piqueras wins this race, it'll be a comeback and a half, but that'll be a bit annoying for Scott Ogden, who's down now in 16th position. Just got to think of the fairness of it all. I can't see why. It's different rules and different penalties. It doesn't make sense. Freddie Spencer is literally one of the worst stewards we've ever seen in Moto GP. Can't wait for Simon Crafar to come back and hopefully have some consistency in the stewarding decisions. Here comes Holgado down towards Carbone. Through on the inside. No, can't do it. Backs out. They're literally left. They're literally holding the right for so long. Furusato at the inside at turn 14 makes the move up into second position. Alonso now in 4th, right behind his championship rival. So they'll try and keep that going as long as they possibly can. Into the last corner of Misano, over the line, 6 laps to go in the Moto 3 Grand Prix of San Marino. Literally just going to try and find a way through. Furusato takes the lead away from Ortola. First lead change in a number of laps. Now it's looking like Moto 3 with 6 to go. Ortola doesn't know what to do. Holgado's pretty much out of it, and Alonso's going to look up the inside in turn 4 and 5. Can he make the move stick? We're looking from an above angle, but I think he has. Yes! David Alonso up into 3rd, and now he's gaining points on the championship leaders. Well, that's him. He's just extending the gap at the front. Insanity by this lot. Alonso up to 3rd place. Now he sets up after Ortola.
Carries a bit more momentum, as you see at La Corsia. It just puts him a bit wide on exit, but yeah, the KTM's a lot more.
Here we
This
go.
is a late one.
That is a really
Holgado,
late one from
Alonso.
Danny Olgado. Seen it so many times at Tremonto over the years, and he makes it a clean pass. So Olgado back in front of Alonso. This is just what Furusato would like. The KTM will probably have a little bit of a run on him here, with even Ortola just in behind. And here he goes. There you just saw that was slipstream being picked up all the way through there.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this from Danny Olgado. Immediate response. Danny likes to pretty much force the issue. He likes to be back at the pointy end all the time. If he slips into 3rd or 4th, he'll immediately respond.
I know, last corner manoeuvre, anyone? As Tayo Furusato goes back underneath and he makes it clean at that final corner.
can't tell you how difficult it is to pass into that pedal corner. Really, really tough. One of the toughest. Look at this. Danny Holgado immediately responds into turn 1.
All this is doing is slowing the pace of the front group. Just look in the back of shot. Colin Vailler's coming, and he's bringing with him Piqueras, Bertelli and Tatsuki Suzuki. What's a 5-rider battle at the front could about to become 9.
Oh. I think Colin Byers went in the wick up. His personal best last time around, 41.4. It's not going to be easy, but he's really going to have to push hard. You've got 4.5 laps to get your head down and hope that the battle commences out front, and it is a real jockey for position that they'll just close up half a second in 1 lap.
What you have to admire from Valle as Alonso makes the lunge down into La Quercia on Tayo Furusato. What you have to admire from Valle is his patience. David Alonso had a little bit of a gap earlier, and he closed it up gradually over a couple of laps, but Valle has just been chipping away here. He's not gone hell for leather.
Oh, Alonso nearly touches Holgado and takes him out. He's just having to keep it together. So Alonso now in 2nd position. He's setting off after... Oh, hang on a minute. Ortola's retaking the lead according to our timing screens. Okay. Oh, Furusato on the inside. Holgado gets forced off wide. So it's Ortola, Alonso, Furusato. A 1, 2, 3 here in Moto 3 with a closing couple of laps coming up. Air temperature 31 degrees. Tuck in that inside line. Get back on the power. And just a few lines coming up. Flat 4. Alonso. Surprise, surprise. Pole sitter takes the lead. Furusato nearly takes out. And they go side by side. Ortola's going to get a run out there. Furusato nearly takes everybody out. Holgado back around the outside of Ortola. Back around the inside line of Furusato. Takes 2nd position. Caro with a long lap penalty now. So Alonso in the lead. Oh, well, that's to be expected. Yellow flag sector 1. Caro, long lap penalty, and Vicente Perez has crashed out of this race. Furusato closing up, nothing can be done down to turn 8, and it's about to become a 9-way fight for this victory in Moto 3.
Perez unfortunately has crashed out in an incident in the first part of the racetrack. It's David Alonso leading for Colombia here in Italy. Daniel Holgado is 2nd on the Gas Tech 3 bike. Behind him, Tayo Furusato on the Honda Asia. Then it's even Ortola who's led for the majority of this race. But now, as they come past, is he able to match the pace of the front runners?
Can Holgado get a run on the inside line coming through Carvone? He's going for it on Alonso. Alonso knew was coming, and then into the lead of the race goes Daniel Holgado. Alonso down to 2nd. Furusato is waiting for the move. That's an old replay. Furusato passes Alonso up into 2nd place. This was Furusato nearly touching the back of Ortola. And that's what forced Ortola wide with Furusato and allowed Holgado to go back through. And by the end of that lap, he had the lead of the race. Alonso on the inside line. He takes 2nd away from Furusato. Ortola's there too, and Kelso being dragged in. 7/10 back is Piqueras in 6th. We all know how we think about that. Just got to be careful with 3 to go. The last thing you want to do is lose out on multiple points. Just keep calm and carry on. Yeah, so this is going to be a lot more close up. Alonso just waiting for move on Holgado. Furusato closing him up as well.
Also Junior GP champion. Huge expectation on his shoulders. And Angel Piqueras is looking really good here. Out of Tramonto. It's Daniel Holgado leading from, well, we're told, it's possibly his future teammate in Moto 2. David Alonso could well be the Aspar duo in Moto 2 next year. But Holgado has dropped back in the championship. He has not won since the 2nd round of the series back in
Furusato.
Here comes Tayo Furusato, but Alonso closes the door on the Japanese rider. A front group of 4. Here comes Alonso! Wow!
Way too far back.
He aborted mission very, very late, and Olgado hangs on.
Yeah, good skill to be able to break into a tight first gear corner, almost touching the rail. He's going for the last turn manoeuvre, or at least lining it up for the future on possibly the final circuit.
You feel like he's
practice.
Forosato, stay behind me here. I want to have a go here, but Forosato looking so racy behind with 2 laps remaining. Here we go.
And Alonso does at the inside line at turn 1, and Hologado, they're going to go wheel to wheel. Alonso losing out. Hologado keeps the lead of the race. This is what we were waiting for in Moto 3. This is what they've been saving their tyres for all race. They weren't sure about the weather conditions. Now it's a 9-way fight as we come into turn 3. Unbelievable stuff. Piqueras has passed Kelso. Piqueras is in this fight from a double long lap penalty down. Controversially, he might even be lining up for a win. He's lining up Ivan Ortola down towards turn 8 as Alonso goes on the inside, gets ahead of Hologado. Forosato tried, not going to work out through the long left-hander. Up to 9 and 10 then. Forosato in 3rd. Ortola down to 4th. Alonso v Hologado changing places once again. And here comes Piqueras side by side with Forosato for 3rd place as we head down to Calvone. Alonso's in the slipstream as well. This is going to be a practice for the last lap as well. You can just tell it's coming. Alonso looks to the inside line. Ortola gets ahead of Piqueras. Piqueras back on the inside line. And off the track goes Ortola. Piqueras comes in out of nowhere and almost takes down Alonso. Front wheel of Piqueras touching the rear of Alonso. 9 times out of 10, you are down on the deck. And somehow, that was the 10th time that it didn't happen. Unbelievable. It only takes 1. And Piqueras is going to try for a double long lap to race victory. He took the lead early on. We knew he had the pace. He's side by side. He bosses off Alonso. Into 2nd place goes Piqueras. Alonso down into 3rd. The gap will only be 1 point extra than when we started. Alonso came in on 75. It's now actually going to come down to 72 if it stands where it is. Still 3 race victories the difference. Not going to be that much as they continue on the attack. Piqueras is there with the battle to Hologado. Up they come once more into the braking zone. Light on the brakes, turns in. Piqueras takes the lead. Alonso to 2nd. Hologado down into 3rd. An amazing end as they all try and weave through the slipstream. Hologado looks to the inside line. Alonso knew he was there. He's trying to turn in. Hasn't worked out. Hologado goes through. Alonso gets 1. He gets 2 taps from Ivan Ortola. Ortola bumping him out of the way. Alonso behind Forosato now in 5th position. He's under attack from Colin Fire. So that's in 5th for Alonso. Piqueras is going to win. A controversial weekend for where he took out Scott Ogden. A double long lap penalty in the race. He's come back to lead. Is he going to win? 2 corners left. Both the right-handers. Hologado lining him up into the last corner. It's in a do-or-die manoeuvre into Misano. Hologado thinks about it. Piqueras, his rear tyre slides. It's a run to the line. Angel Piqueras wins, but Hologado's right there in the line. It's a photo finish. 35 thousandths of a second. Piqueras comes back from a long lap penalty twice and wins the San Marino Grand Prix of Moto 3. Credit where credit's due. That is an impressive ride. Controversy in practice taking out Scott Ogden. Has he learned anything? I don't know. But definitely, he's come back to win in style. Piqueras wins and gets congratulated by Hologado. 0.035 at the line. Wow! Literally nothing more you can say about that. That was fantastic. Spanish 1, 2, 3 in Italy as well. Oh, TNT go to a break. That was the morning. I've already nearly lost my voice. I wonder what Moto 2 is going to bring when the rain comes down. Piqueras wins. Hologado is 2nd. 3rd on the grid goes Ortola. Forosato is 5th with Via 6th. Alonso finishes, Via 5th. Alonso 6th. Kelso 7th. Suzuki 8th. Lanetta 9th. Ferroli 10th. Almanza, Ralston, Fernandez, Neppen, Ogden did pick up the last point, but if you ask me how a rider who deliberately cut through and caused a massive accident, he gets 25 points, you only get 1. The double long lap penalty, you can tell, doesn't work, and it's not a penalty, is it? To come through. Caro, 16th, Yamanaka, Zurazita, Rusala, Deltweller, Borassi, Esteban, the 22 finishers. Out was Bertoletti, Perez, Ruda, Munoz and Rossi. What a Moto 3 race that was. Absolutely fantastic then was Moto 3. You're back up with us live here. Hello, Josh Birch with you. So we are about, and we'll go on. And it is turning into quite an entertaining race battle, isn't it, as well? Because if you take a look at the standings right now alongside me, we've got Pecco Bagnaia on top with Bassini second, Morbidelli's third. Vinales has just moved up into 4th place with Jorge Martin in 5th. Pedro Costa at 6th, Marc Marquez 7th, Danny Pedrosa's 8th with Fabio Quartararo 9th, and Aleix Spargaro rounds out your top 10. Now, we're into the 2 hours to go, and usually this means that we're going to see a couple of the riders heading out on the early development for next year's bike, because of course this is the last in-season test, so this is the time to sort of put on the tweaks for 2025, see what the bike could look like, and then when we get to Valencia at the end of the year and the post-season test there, that is when you strap on the 2025 bike for the first time and see what you get. Then we go into the break, and then we go into the shakedown at Sepang, another test at Sepang, and then over as well for a test as well, not at Qatar but in Thailand. The 2-day test will be next year as well, which could be problematic with the rain. But anyway, we're going to keep on going and move over, because our next coverage of the day comes from yesterday's Moto 2 race in San Marino. Yes, it was an interesting one, but no, the rain didn't come. So let's head back over and join Moto 2. As soon as it wants to load in, because apparently the audio wasn't there. Here you go. We're all set for round 13 of the Moto 2 World Championship from the World Circuit. Misano, Marco Simoncelli. Welcome to what is going to be an absolutely fantastic round of this championship. And it's about to all gear up for round 13 to get underway. The tensions are rising, the atmosphere is through the roof. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen with unpredictability, but Tony Arbolino is on pole position. Let's get ready to rumble in Misano. Tension rising on the grid. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to round 13 of the Moto 2 World Championship. It's Tony Arbolino on pole position. Alongside him on the front row is Vietti and Ayagura. Then it's Aaron Canet starting in 4th position. Diego Monrella starts 5th. 6th on the grid for Albert Arenas. It's 7th for Joe Roberts, with Alonso Lopez taking in 8th position. 9th on the grid comes Manuel Gonzalez. 10th for Ferdinand de Geur, and then it's Philip Salak and Marcos Ramirez lines up 12th. Dennis Onchu is 13th, from Jake Dixon lining up 14th on the grid. Bo Ben Schneider lines up 15th alongside Seno Guris. Amul Sasaki and Dennis Foggia then takes up the next row of the grid. 19 down takes us with Zonta van der Gerberg, Barry Bolters, Jeremy Alcoba. Somkat Chandra down in 22nd. Then it's Matteo Passini ahead of Sergio Garcia. Dan Binder, Aizen Guevara and Juan Macia down the back, followed by Mario Aggi, Javier Cardenas, and Urani Aldere starts 30th, 31st for Javier Artegas as well. Typical comes in for 31 and we don't even know about it. Hello everybody, welcome on to the comms box then. Here we go for Moto 2 and the San Marino Grand Prix. Sergio Garcia leads Ayagura by 12 points in the championship. Ayagura starts 3rd. Sergio Garcia starts 24th. The continued run of bad luck is on. Let's check in with what Gavin Emmett and Michael Laverty think of the action.
The track position, make those overtakes, and it's going to be difficult for him with the injured shoulder. Yeah, he's going to struggle to maintain his points lead this weekend. I think Ayagura should be on the podium, as he said. He's got podium pace, maybe not race winning pace today. I think Ayagura comes out of here as the title leader today, got to be honest.
We've seen the tyre sheet that Pirelli have given us, all riders on the soft SC1 front and on the new development soft on the rear, except for Ramirez, who's got on the standard soft tyre. That's interesting. Everyone's got the same underneath them. So what does that mean? How do you read this one? I sat here, I could not tell you who I think is going to come out on top.
Yeah, which we love about Moto 2 this year. 9 different winners, is it, to this point in the season? It's really good. It has been a massive shake-up, and we've turned up here in Misano, a track that offers really good grip, so the softer options front and rear working and going distance, so not too much wheel spin, not too much degradation, everyone on the same option, so there's no gambles today. It is a case of managing your energy and waiting to the end of the race, as we've seen in Moto 3, and then letting all guns go blazing in those last few laps.
Can't wait to see it. Yeah, 8 different winners this year in the first 12 races. 4 riders have won just once, 4 have won twice. Tony Arbolino yet to register one, and he's the one who starts from pole, fresh from a first podium back in Aragon.
Tension rising then, ready to get going. How is the weather? Well, track temperature and air temperature at the same at 31 degrees, 49% chance of rain. It's got a lot darker since Moto 3, 40 minutes ago. So we're in for a possible flag to flag in Moto GP later. The wind's picking up as well. Meanwhile, it's eyes to the lights for Moto 2, and the San Marino Grand Prix has red lights on. Blast off! Good start from Ayagura in 3rd position. He's going to come alongside Giustino Vietti down towards turn 1. Ayagura should have the lead. Alberino continues through. Vietti drops back. Here comes Albert Arenas right round the outside of both him and Aaron Canet. Fantastic move. Up into 2nd and now 3rd position. Ayagura holds it. Vietti back ahead. Aaron Canet coming through as they come down to the braking zone. Grassini's running in white today, so watch out for the 75 of Albert Arenas and the 18 of Manuel Gonzalez, not in blue, but in the Ducati white. Exit at turn 6, back up the straight we go towards turn 8. It is Tony Arbolino leading from Ayagura 2nd, Giustino Vietti 3rd, with Aaron Canet looking up the inside line, coming in towards turn 8, a downhill braking spot, and it looks to be okay so far. It's a good start from everybody. Now, the weather conditions, to go more in depth with you, looking up in the air at the television monitors, the weather, there is a lot of grey cloud around, similar to Moto 3. However, there is the possibility of that rain coming down in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So it's going to come at some point today, but during a race. As we go side by side, further back, Diego Monrella with Fermin Aldeguer were side by side coming through Carvone, and how there wasn't a big accident there, I don't know. Everybody then, as you heard from Gavin on the formation lap, they were on the soft CSC1 tyre at the front, as Alonso Lopez has dropped down to 23rd position. Now, what's that for? Haven't seen anything so far on my timing monitor. Oh, yeah, Lopez has crashed. There he is, right in front of me. Dropped the front over the curb and dips out into the gravel at the exit of turn 16 at Misano. So Alonso Lopez is out of the Aaron Canet dives up the inside as Giustino Vietti in turn 2 and 3 to take a 3rd position away. Ayagura right on the back of Tony Arbolino. There's no stopping there for what they want to do, what they want to have the attack on later on in the race. You can see that for the first time, by the way, in between Moto 3 and Moto 2, we've managed to implement the race control messages that you can see for the first time on your screen in a while since they changed the system. There's the messages back up so we can see them. We had it at the start when we had the old graphics. Now we've got the better graphics, and we have finally the race control messages below us here on the screen. We've been waiting for that to come in, and now finally we've had the chance to do it, as well as the timings being correct. So Ayagura is out in the 21 apparently, so that's what he's been told. So Ayagura's been told that Lopez is out of the race, so that's going to help a lot coming through. Track conditions still cloudy, there's still 49% chance of rain in the area, so it's happening. So Ayagura now leads 8 points to Sergio Garcia. Garcia is still 23rd, so that gap in the championship only increasing slightly. Garcia now losing the advantage of the championship, and Ayagura taking full on and getting maximum points, so he takes the lead in the championship. coming into this one. There's the 54 Fermin Aldeguer, who's going to be riding up in Moto GP next season. He's battling with Diego Monrella. That 3, Tony Arbolino does a 1:36.250, so he's got the fastest lap of the race. There's Jake Dixon in a battle with Aldeguer, Monrella, and he's got Joe Roberts behind him. That's the battle for 8, 9, 10 and 11 as well. There's Salak in there. Garcia's now also been told that Alonso Lopez is out of the race. That's one of their championship rivals as well, alongside Joe Roberts. Roberts, however, still up in 10th position, so even he's gaining points on Sergio Garcia. There's Alborino's fastest lap. The best race last year was a 1:36.173, so that's got to change up again. Down towards turn 8. The field just starting to spread out. Dixon moves ahead. Him and Joe Roberts having a battle. Guevara passes Alcoba. Passini passes Ben Schneider as well. So everyone now just starting to ease themselves in to this one. They know it's going to be a long one. They've all got soft tyres on due to the conditions, so they've just got to save the tyres as well.
Very briefly, but he's back behind the Brazilian.
You always know Tony Arbolino starts well, really pushes in the early laps. He always has speed and typically can eke out a little bit of a gap, which when we were in the Dunlop era really was difficult to claw back. But with Pirelli's, it's a different scenario now. So the 4/10 advantage Arbolino's got at the moment. I think once I loses a little bit of the fuel load, the initial grip goes off the Pirelli tyres and I can slide it into the corners as he likes to do. Then the race begins to come to him and he will claw back the gap that Tony Arbolino's tried to eke out at the front.
So Arbolino leading from Agura in second, Canet there in third, Celestino Vietti a little bit further back. Vietti's another one who paces his races nicely. Canet is the fastest rider on circuit with a 1:36.0. Arbolino a 1:36.2, so they're going to come back to Arbolino here, not being dropped by the Italian. As they head down towards Rio Corner, still Arenas in 5th, Gonzalez in 6th. That is a new fastest race lap, quicker than Vietti went by a 10th a year ago. There's Manu Gonzalez, who actually did Aragon, 5th in Silverstone, but not had a podium since Italy. And here he comes past his teammate, Albert Arenas.
Nicely done. Sideways on entry, using the rear brake to pull it down. Didn't go too far wide, but Gonzalez, one that you can't rule out because race pace wise he's always strong in the latter laps, but yeah, he has been in a little bit of a dip of form, looking to bounce back in Grassini's home delivery with the Italian tricolore up the side of the machine in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, the bigger the bikes get, the harder it is to make overtaking manoeuvres here at Misano. We've seen that with Moto GP yesterday, unless you are that, that much quicker. There is Garcia in behind Chantro, who had his own crash problems this weekend. And as it stands, Garcia will be dropping back to second in the championship.
Yeah, the problem is, these are fast riders. You're all the way down in 22nd position, and you are trying, or 21st. You're trying to make the progression through the pack, and you're trying to pass riders like Somkhat Chandra, a GP winner, Jeremy Alcoba, a podium finisher, and then you just cannot make inroads. It's so difficult.
We missed the change of second place. Aaron Canet now is through on Agura and setting about Tony Arbolino out front. So Canet with a 1:36.1, the fastest of the front trio. I do feel like, as we've said so many times this year, even with that development soft in the rear of the bike, you just have to dose it out.
It does seem like the Kalex has turned a corner recently in terms of its tyre consumption. They have grip at the end of the races. They're able to manage it better, and they have better pace than they had in the early rounds. Bosco-Oscuro did steal a march in the early part of the season, but right now it's a tough one to say which is the better overall package. Right now it is Olin suspension. Kalex is 1 and 2, but Ayagura's right there, and he always doses it out quite well in terms of managing his tyres to the end of the race. And yeah, he didn't sound overly confident that he could pull the victory out today.
7 rounds remaining after this one, and I suppose the 2 riders in front of him here are not championship threats. Arbolino definitely isn't. Canet 71 behind with 7 rounds remaining. Well, 8 including this one, the points still to be doled out. So I suppose he's not completely out of it, but I don't think he'd be thinking of Canet as a consistent enough threat. So actually, Agura in this position, it's not a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, it's okay. Obviously, Arbolino, you don't consider him a title threat because of his lackluster start, but you can't rule out Aaron Canet because of his potential, but I think he's a little bit too inconsistent and too far back at this stage in the season. So, yeah, it's okay for Aguirre. He will know that Sergio Garcia is going to struggle to score today. He knows that Jake Dixon, he may get those signals on his pit board or on his dashboard as the race progresses, but down there in 9th, although setting lap times almost identical to Alpha, a 10th of a second adrift, so Jake getting into his stride, and you would imagine he will get the best of Moreira, Arenas, maybe even Gonzalez. So I think a top 5 is still on the horizon here for Jake today.
Yeah, pace, personal best lap, in fact, for Dixon. As you say, pace better than everyone in front of him.
Aguirre's going on the inside to get ahead of Ant Canet to cut across. So this is going to be an interesting battle, because there goes Ant Canet making a small error coming out of turn 8. And Aguirre says, thank you very much. I'll swing back through and take that position. But Canet's fighting up on the inside line. And they swap back as before they come out of turn 9 as well. So Lopez has rejoined the race. Canet's not holding back, actually. He's keeping the gap open to Aguirre. But Aguirre slips in behind as they come to Carvone. So, yeah, they've just got to take it with ease, this one. It's a nice folding race so far. Nothing bad is happening. It's all going really well, actually. 9 times out of 10, we've said that before in a Moto 2 race, and all hell breaks loose directly afterwards. So far, the weather conditions are mixed. We've seen some more rain clouds coming in over the circuit. Let's take a look at the weather radar, shall we, as well? Because we've also got Simon Patterson trackside. 230, 240, 250 as well coming through. That's in the braking zone from Ant Canet on the tyres. Now, at the moment, well, the rain's now saying to come later on this evening, but that can't be right, because there is more weather coming in. There's lightning and unpredictable rainstorms coming in, so we'll keep an eye on exactly what happens there. Simon said 2 minutes. Weather radar for 1:15. MotoGP starts at 2 o'clock local time, and that is massive rain. So there is a storm coming in. Simon said 2 minutes ago it's very overcast and there's rain in the air according to the radar. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of the 2023 Moto2 race in Portimao. That was a red flag, if I remember correctly. So it's overcast in the area and that rain's coming in. Let's take a look. There's the 54 of Fermin Aldeguer with Albert Arenas directly ahead of him. What happened in Portimao 23? Oh, yeah, everyone went down. I remember that now. Yeah, sorry. That was a bit of a brain lag there. We had to stop the race because everyone turned in at turns 1, 2 and 3 and they all fell off the track and we had to throw the red flag and restart the race. So we definitely don't want another one of those coming through. Albert Arenas up in 6th position at the moment. And, yeah. So basically everyone's fingers crossed in this race. 16 laps to go, coming up on 15 laps to go. It will be lap 8 of 22 and everyone's now just going like that the rain stays away and we don't have a horrific accident, but there's rain in the area, that's for sure. Don't trust Apple, just trust the radar. That shows a massive storm right here on the circuit, which is going to play a huge factor into it. Right, side by side. As well as we come in. This is Arenas, Fermin Aldeguer and Diego Monrella over 6, 7 and 8 at the moment. And Monrella nearly took Aldeguer out of the race. He went to the inside line in turn 1. Aldeguer didn't know he's there. Now, actually, to interrupt myself, Aldeguer sends up the inside at turn 5 and 6 on Albert Arenas. And he moves up into 6th position. Arenas now under pressure from Diego Monrella. Jake Dixon, who won last time out at Assen, is now closing back in again. Under braking, this is, Joe Roberts also looking quite good in 10th position. He's closing up on this little battle as well after a little mistake a lap ago. So he's gaining back. Alberino's gaining at the front. Amcat's losing time. Gura staying in 3rd. And temperature now is at 31 degrees Celsius. Few leaders changing over positions. You can see on your monitors as the racing continues on here. It is 15 laps to go in the Moto2 San Marino Grand Prix, and everybody is nervous about the rain coming in. No sign of it so far. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on every social media we possibly can do as well. It's going to be that type of afternoon to keep your eyes peeled. Alberino by 4/10 as he lost a lot of time in that last sector. In fact, looking at the timing screen, Ant Canet takes the fastest lap of the race. He's done a 1:36.025 and it's now the fastest. Here's the race start though. We'll hand back to Michael Laverty.
So
the wave could go Vermin's way yet. He could just find something in terms of his setup, be able to utilise his strengths and skills. Everyone did get through reasonably clean. This is Aldeguer and Joe Roberts at turn 1, a bit of contact.
So they're in turn 2. It's in turn 3 now. Just have a look at Roberts. He gets really held up on the outside there. It was Lopez, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's Alonso Lopez and then Aldeguer coming through. What a surprise. Of course, Alonso Lopez is now out of this race.
Yes, there'll be no in-race penalty for Alonso Lopez. He's already dished out his own penalty at the end of lap 1. But
he has rejoined.
Oh, has he?
Back in he's in 31st, yes. And he's 2 laps down.
Yeah, no points on the horizon today, but just maybe some setup data ahead of the race in 2 weeks' time.
Just tightened up a little bit out the front with Aaron Canet setting a new fastest lap of the race. Tony Arbolino has been metronomic at the front. I've been looking at his lap times. 1:36.3 again and again and again. He's hit his straps and he is sticking to whatever he's got in mind at the start of this race. So 1:36.3 is his ballpark.
This is the Tony Arbolino we've been waiting for all season. Didn't turn up in Qatar, didn't turn up when we come back to Europe. It's just been a bit of a tough breakthrough for him to figure out how to work these Pirelli tyres, but he's found something, and it's good to see him back on form again and battling at the front. That's what we want to see from Tony. He's a fiery character and makes some great race action, typically in Moto 2.
And you know the Mark VDS team are always going to get there. Here comes Aaron Canet, though, on the inside. He left it late. The foot was off the foot peg. I don't know how he does it, but he does every single time. And now we've got a new leader in the Grand Prix of San Marino, and it's Aaron Canet from Arbolino. Agura in 3rd. Still Vietti having a watching brief back in 4th spot. Moreira's got through Arenas behind, so he's up to 7th. I still think you look down to, you know, the likes of Aldeguer. All of them will harbour a hope of the podium when we start getting into the...
Foggia with a track limits warning. SHT said, I still remember when Dan Binder is competing in the Moto GP Premier Class years ago. Yeah, binned it in every single opportunity he had in that category as well. So, yeah. Not the greatest. Oh, the Sterrington Cup happened, and I didn't even see it happen on my screen. That's interesting. At least that means that the 20 past race might actually happen on time as well for when we cover that one. Looks like we... By the way, I've just been... If you're wondering where I was the last couple of laps, I've been looking on socials and from reading Simon Patter's Twitter, as Ayagura is going to take the inside. Alboreto going wide, and through goes Ayagura. So Alboreto losing the lead in 2 laps running. Now down to 3rd, and Ayagura leads the championship by 8 points to Sergio Garcia now. Aaron Canet leads this race then in San Marino. The reason I've stepped away from the microphone for a second is because I've been looking. Simon Patterson saying on his socials that the rain is going to hit the circuit towards the tail end of Moto 2. So in the next 12 laps, that rain is coming. And maybe I should turn Simon's tweets on auto update so I can actually hear. Because this is not looking great. So, yeah, Simon, I've just turned your posts on. Coming into it as well. Yeah, that overcast is getting absolutely worse out here on the track. Moto GP does not look good. It's probably going to be a flag-to-flag. Heavy rainstorm. Might have red flags this afternoon for Moto GP, so that's going to be interesting. I hope not, because we want to cover some Goodwood Revival today ourselves. This is Aaron Canet, and there's Alboreto nearly dropping that front again down at turn 15, and that's what gave the position through to Ayagura. Canet leads by 0.6 of a second. They're all racing now for the flag to come out. Now, there's no flag to flag in Moto 2. If the rain comes down, they're all on slick tyres, they will red flag the race. So that's no ifs, no buts. If that rain starts to come down, we will see a red flag and the race will be stopped immediately, as soon as the sprinkles. They can't risk it. So we're getting past half distance, but we need to get past 2/3 before the race can be, that will be a restart required still, because we need to complete 2/3 race distance. Just getting a look at the red flag lap here for this one, as they will again turn in. Pit boards all being hung out there as well. There is Fermin Aldeguer now ahead of Monrella and Dixon. Philip Salah gets ahead of Marcos Ramirez. Why is there a red flag? Because in Moto 3 and Moto 2, they only have one bike. It's not like in Moto GP where there'll be a flag to flag where they can come in, change bikes for wet tyres. In Moto 2, they can't do that. So they're all out there on slicks at the moment. So if the rain starts to come down, they would red flag the race. They would come into the pit lane, they'd change tyres and then to wets, and then the race will be restarted. But if we're more than 2/3 race distance, ergo 75% of the race distance has been completed, we won't have that restart procedure. So that's what I'm just trying to look at on the red flag information from race control. Here we go. So the finish in case of a red flag for Moto 2 is lap 17. So we're on lap 12 now. So anything past lap 17 would be declared a result officially. So that will be 2/3 race distance. We're past it now at 50% distance as well. So we are on lap 12 of 22. We've passed half distance. And this is now a battle with Dennis Onchu. Battle for 16th. And Sergio Garcia through on the inside line. Garcia was leading the championship, now down in outside the points paying position. Ayagua's leading the moment by 8 points, but not battling with Aaron Canet. And, well, Roberts is down 11th to the track limits warning. Alonso Lopez out of the race. Does anyone actually want to win Moto 2 this year? That is getting very overcast at the back half of the circuit as well now. I'm telling you, the last corner, you can see the rain coming in. You know how in the distance you can always see the rain coming down with the light shining through it? You can see like rays hitting the track. That's what's happening. You can see the rain starting to come in. It's getting very, very dark here at Misano for the San Marino Grand Prix. The wind is at 6 kilometers an hour. Air and track still the same. Lopez with the track limits warning. Ayagura, Antonio Alberino with the fastest second sector. So does Manuel Gonzalez. So, yeah. So basically, we just need to get to lap 17. Anything past that, and we can declare the race a result if it starts really hammering it down. So that's going to be an interesting little factor to keep an eye on. 10 to go, if we make it that far. Definitely, it looks like, by the way, that the rain is scheduled to come down at 1:15. That currently over there in Misano, it is 12:38. So by 1:15, it's going to be in a massive rainstorm. So definitely the MotoGP Grand Prix is going to be interesting to see what happens later. We'll be moving over to JBMotorsports for that one. And even the riders are now, I just saw, we're riding on board with the 79 of Ayagura, and Aaron Canet, who went into the last corner, was looking up at the sky, and he's doing it again now into turn 1 on the straight. He was looking up to see what the weather is doing, because these guys are going to be the first ones to meet these conditions. Certainly Aaron Canet is leading it, Ayagura's, 2-3 tenths behind? So they've got to take care. I'm really excited for the 3 rookies who will be merged into MotoGP class next season. What will the weather be for MotoGP Grand Prix later? Well, in the words of Ollie from Family Guy, it's going to rain. And it's raining sideways. It's not looking good. We're all just sort of looking around and expecting it, because here in Misano, it could just come down at any second. Ayagura closing in to Aaron Canet. It's dry right now, though, with the track temperature and air temperature level at 31 degrees. That's going to help, though, if it does rain, because the track should be able to burn it away quite quickly. But it depends on the level. We've got the weather radar we're seeing up in the commentary box is heavy rain falling in, and who was that? Somebody, Fermin Ardeguer's got a track limits warning, but somebody dropped down 2 places there. Didn't see who it was on the monitor. Van der Gerberg has been given a long lap penalty due to exceeding track limits. That was just now. So Zonta van der Gerberg has been given that for a long lap penalty. For his track limits. And I believe he's taken that now. I think that's what I'm seeing on this monitor. I'm going to turn the brightness up so I can actually read it a little bit more. It's getting darker in this box as well. Yeah, so 3:10 Ayagura coming in. So, 136.063. So they're all now just playing those factors in. It's very nerve-wracking, actually, this. I've never experienced a more nervous energy out here before in the paddock. It is like, what on earth will happen next? Yeah, exceeding long lap penalty with track limits. I'm going to check the weather radar again. Let's head back over to the team.
From Sergio Garcia to get across, and you can see he got the gap on his pit board over a second, and now he's got it down to, he's on the back wheel of Joe Roberts. So this is a bit of a disaster for Joe down in 15th with the track limits warning looming over him.
Yeah, he's obviously been transgressing a few occasions, as has Fermin Aldeguer. That's one hanging over his head. So that's something to keep an eye on as this race progresses. On the limiter for Sergio Garcia, chasing down Joe Roberts, down into La Quercia, turn 8. Vietti is the fastest rider on that last lap. He's closing on Tony Arbolino rather quickly, but I think also, Michael, Vietti's closing on Canet and Agura at the front.
Yeah, I do think Vietti's got something here, maybe a trump card up his sleeve. He's managed it well. It looked like he wasn't panicking in those early laps when there was a bit of daylight between him and the lead group. And yeah, he's very good at managing race distance, Celestino Vietti.
So we weren't sure if Sergio Garcia was going to be taking any points out of the San Marino Grand Prix. He's right on the cusp of it now. So Ayagura with 20. It's all going to be in the maths department later, trying to work out who's taking points out of whom. But I have to say, this is a great ride from Garcia. From a tough start to the weekend, he's pulled himself together, and now challenging Joe Roberts for 15th. At the front, still Aaron Canet and Ayagura. You can see that. And here he goes, Garcia into the points. Briefly, because Joe Roberts is back at him.
Yeah. Typically what we expect on the pass into turn 2, you're going to go wide and set yourself up for a cutback, but obviously a little bit of a dress rehearsal. Next time around, you just park it a little more. When you do that, you risk contact if the rider to your outside hasn't seen you. So he's done it one time now cleanly. Next time around, he won't give him just as much room.
Down towards La Quercia. There's Ariuma Sasaki. I tell you what, Sasaki's had a good couple of rounds, hasn't he?
Yeah.
In the points.
Good to see, obviously, a turnaround in Aragon this weekend through to Q2 in the mix, 12th, 10th. That's really positive signs for Ayumu Sasaki. It looked like he was maybe on his way back to Moto 3, but all signs are good for a return, a second year in Moto 2 next season, possibly a move to Honda Team Asia. And it'll be good to see Ayumu back in Moto 2 in 2025.
Weather forecast update for you as well. It's getting worse as Passini's entered the pit lane as well. He did have a track limits warning, but he's decided against it. Aaron Canet now closing into Ayagura as well. The atmosphere is building here at Misano with 6 laps to go. Zonta van der Gerberg has completed his long lap penalty. We've got a strange hue now over the circuit as well. As they come under the braking zone, once again, is Ayagura going to find anything to try and close back up? That's something in the back of my ear that I didn't expect to hear. It's the course card in the back of the circuit where the microphone was. There's Sergio Garcia right behind Joe Roberts. The gap is 0.3 of a second. 0.043 actually. So, oh, hello, what happened there? They're side by side. Okay, we've opened up the TV pictures, and Garcia should be getting ahead of Joe Roberts any second now. Roberts and him are side by side. Garcia has the inside line, and he's into the points down at turn 4 and 5. Sergio Garcia into the points. The gap now 9. So 7 actually. The gap that Agura has over him, and he'll look to try and close that back up in the next few moments. Aaron Canet going a little bit wide. Agura will definitely try and get the slipstream on him. It's like he's reeling him in as well. It's quite addictive to see as they come into Carvone. Canet under braking. Agura closing him down second by second. What a fascinating technological mind battle this is becoming. Everyone just trying to hold station and realise, yeah, we could be in for something a bit different and a bit special here. You can see how long the timing screen's got now with the penalties galore. Oraday has got the track limits warning. Of course, if you didn't see it yesterday, a marshal stepped off the pit wall in front of Yuri and knocked him off the bike, and his bike went flying into the Aprilia garage, hit Aleix Espargaro's bike, and the bike actually ended up where the engineers and Aleix sit in between the sessions. Luckily, nobody was seriously hurt. No one was sitting there. Aleix's bike was a little bit damaged as Garcia gets up the inside of Marcos Ramirez for 14th place now as well. And 13th place as well. He's ahead of Moon Sasaki. So Garcia's up to 13th now. But yeah, so luckily no one was hurt. Canet side by side with Ayagura down towards turn 8. I can't tell if there's sunshine or rain cloud coming in. You know, like you get that sun just before the rain starting to come in. It's a really weird situation that's happening out there. I'm now talking directly to the Combox camera. I never normally do this, so it's a bit weird. I only usually do it at the end of the session. During a race, my eyes are usually fixated on the screen, so I'm going to look back down now to stop everybody freaking out. Here comes Agura, locking him in, down into turn 8 again, into Carboni at turn 11. Last of the late breakers. Agura was fastest, by the way, by 2/10 in that last sector. He's really closed in. And he's through on the inside line of 14, but he's gone too wide. Tried to get it stopped. It didn't work out. Canet keeps the lead after 14. Into 15 and 16 in the last 2 corners. Agura's going to have to be smarter than that because he almost lost out to Tony Alberino in 3rd. Be smarter. Otherwise, there's just no point. They work together. 4 laps to go here in Misano for the Moto 2 San Marino Grand Prix. Really is an entertaining little battle. We're just looking at that rain. If the rain doesn't come in Moto 2, it should arrive by the time we get to Moto GP. So just keep your eyes on it, because that is going to be some of the hardest rain we're going to have. Whether they'll delay the start or not, I don't know. Possibility they would delay the start. I don't mind if they do. We've got enough time. I know the 3 races I want to cover today, and that is the Glover Trophy, the St Mary's Trophy Part 2, and the final race of the day, the Freddie March Memorial Trophy. They're the 3 races I want to cover from the Goodwood today. Down into turn 11, and here we go again. Aaron Ayagura up the inside. Aaron Canet cannot do anything about it. Ayagura takes the lead of the Moto 2 Grand Prix of San Marino. And Alberino and Justino Vietti has now come into this little battle as well. So Vietti closing all up. Oh, this is good, isn't it? This is the good stuff. This is where you lick your lips because Canet's fighting back at him as well. Agura's going defensive and the rain clouds are coming in. We're past lap 17, remember, so if the rain does come, the race will be stopped and it won't be restarted. Alonso Lopez, hang on a minute, what? Alonso Lopez has rejoined the race, that's why. I was just saying, what? But Alonso Lopez has been given a long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. Little bit of, yeah, it's a shine now that's starting to appear on the circuit. You can see where the grip is. It's not raining at all, but the tensions are rising. 48% now, the humidity. That's dropping quite rapidly as well. You can see the rain clouds growing in the distance. It's like we're watching a storm roll in a movie. It's quite scary to see it. The riders here, it could just rain at any second. SHT says, if it's a wet race, battle for the race wins are probably going to be wide open. It will be in Moto GP. I don't think it's going to affect the Moto 2, thankfully. It looks like we're going to have a dry race, but Moto GP, certainly that rain is coming in. I'm looking over the mountains where it's rolling in from, and it looks absolutely horrific. That's just 2 miles away from this circuit. It's going to blow in any moment. Ayagura's 3/10 ahead, now 5/10, and Aaron Canet's dropping back actually to Tony Alberino. Now remember, if it does start raining, it's only the race leader that can put their hand up to say, okay, stop the race. So they have to, it has to be the race leader, and as soon as he does that, they can stop it, because he's the first who can do it. Hello, I'm looking in the grandstands, and people are starting to put their coats on and put their hoods up. It's not raining yet. We've seen no white flags with red X's to indicate it's raining in that part of the track, so we are keeping it through. We want to see a wet race in Moto GP, says Imesh. We want to see that too. Reminder that will be on JBMotorsports for that one, not here. Oh, hello, big one there. And who's gone down? It's one of the Red Bulls. And it is Justino Vietti in the last corner. Vietti's gone down. So we couldn't see who it was from the angle. So Justino Vietti from 4th place has crashed out. And the timing screens have stopped. The timing screens have stopped. There's a problem with the timing screens. So they've gone down on all monitors. Oh, blimey. So Vietti's out. 2 to go. There they go. They're restarting now. They might take a second to load up, but they are working again. Well, I can see they're working, but we're still saying 3 laps to go. So something's tripped in Dorna's race control system as well. Yes, just a reminder, we'll be on JB Motorsports 1 for the main race. The link is in the description to that channel. So you can go and follow us for that race there as well. So there's Vietti out of the race. You can see that the timing tower's working, but there we go, 2 to go, there we go. Rider okay for Vietti, as you can tell on the monitor. Now, I wonder what caused that. It looked like he could probably just lost the front end, turns in, the front dips away from him as well. Sadly, the way it goes sometimes. But they were setting red sector times. The top 5. Jake Dixon's up into 5th. He was 15th at one point in this race. Jake Dixon really is having the time of his life. Yeah, looks like we're going to get a dry Moto 2, which is thankful. It's just the Moto GP boys that I'm worried about going out, but they'll have the bikes set up for both wet and dry. The last thing we wanted here was to have that worry of Moto 2 coming down and us having to stop the race because they're on slicks. They can't come in to change bikes. Would make MotoGP more fun if it started dry, then got wet, and they had to come in for a flag to flag. That would be fun. Because then we could see still the possibility of red flags as well. Last lap time for Igo is 136.436. 0.03 of a second slower was Aaron Canet. Tony Alberino was 2.3 down on that lap time. And he has dropped 2.5 seconds behind the leaders further back. So they are one after the other, closing in again and again and again. It is the strangest situation possible, the wildest situation possible, but Ayagura is going to do the magic miracle here as he comes out into the last few corners. We're down towards Carvone. Only got a few more. I think Aaron Canet's going to stay back. In a championship where nobody, and I literally mean nobody, wanted to take the lead, Ayagura is fighting back so hard. The man who lost the Moto2 Championship with an accident at Valencia, can he now set off on a charge to win it himself? He's reined in his teammate Sergio Garcia, who ever since the summer break has had a horrific season. Roberts has fallen down the wayside in 13th. Lopez has literally fallen. Arise! Ayagura, winner in San Marino and the leader of the Moto2 World Championship once again. Aaron Canet finishes an amazing second. Tony Arborino in third. Manuel Gonzalez is fourth. Jake Dixon takes fifth. Furman Aldeguer is sixth. Philip Salak is seventh. Diego Monrella is 8th, Albert Arenas 9th, that's Darren Binder up in 10th place, fantastic race. Senna Igas is 11th, Sergio Garcia 12th, Joe Roberts 13th, 14th for Songkat Chantra, 15th for Marcos Ramirez, and the last point-paying position. Amul Sasaki is 16th, Jeremy Alcoba 17th, Barry Bolt is 18th, Dennis Onchun 19th, Bobet Schneider is 20th, Izan Guevara 21st, Dennis Foggia 22nd, Zonta van der Gerberg's 23rd, Juan Macia 24th, Mario Argi 25th, Javier Ortega's 26th, Javier Cardenas is 27th, 28th on the list. That goes down for Urub Arab as well. Then Alonso Lopez 29th, and only the retirement actually in that one was just in a Vietti. Everyone else got back up, which was a surprise to me. In their half that we were going to have that. Now, they've just gone for an ad break over on TNT Sports. What I am doing is trying rather quickly to get hold of the link for the main race and pop it in the YouTube chat for you as well, so you can all come along and watch the action for this one. However, my data is not great in this commentary box, so we'll just turn off Moto 2 because the rest of that wasn't actually part of the show. So we have around about an hour and 15 minutes left and not much going on out here on the circuit right now. We've only got Maverick Vinales and Alex Rins out there testing on the Aprilia and the Yamaha. And it's a really tricky situation for some of those who aren't going to be riding next year's bike. Now, this is why this in-season test mainly is going to be about developing the final bits of the 24 bike for anything that then needs to change over to the 25 bikes, because we've got so many riders over the next 6 months who are going to be changing over teams. So they've got to be so careful as to what the factory teams reveal going to the later teams. So, yeah, it's a confusing one, but it's a factory Ducati 1-2, and it is Bagnaia on top, and he is running the 24 bike with some 2025 stats on it as well. Another thing to point out is that every single team is now running the 100% brand new front end Michelin tyre. So that is a brand new compound that has been being developed and will be brought in for next year that they are out there testing. So that's why we're getting so many riders doing so many laps on them at this moment in time. We're going to end up, we've got an hour and 16 minutes to go, so an hour and 15-minute programme coming up for you. The Moto GP race from San Marino yesterday as well. You see how perfect this afternoon sort of wrapped up with showing the Moto 3, the Moto 2 and the Moto GP's races as well. It's worked out quite well, hasn't it, in the afternoon? Maybe for once, Dorna helping me out on those things. But anyway, let's change over then and listen to the Moto GP show. And by the time it's over, the checkered flag will be ready to come out to end the test day. Here's the San Marino Grand Prix from yesterday in MotoGP. A week ago, we were in Aragon. Now we're here in Misano. Welcome to Rimini, the home of so many MotoGP riders. Nonetheless, the legend Valentino Rossi. It's round 13 of the MotoGP World Championship. The gap up to 26 points, Martin to Bagnaia. And we have mixed conditions ahead of us. It's all set for a classic race. Let's head down to the grid and join Susie Perry.
I mean, there's been kidology throughout the whole weekend, hasn't there, from Jorge Martin, as you absolutely would do.
Yeah, you can't blame him. That goes on a lot.
OK, let's take the national anthem. Well, we'll be hearing that again later. Jack Miller hopes not. He's going from 12th. He's with Michael.
Jack, these conditions have always worked in your favour. Are you feeling good for this one?
Always, I don't know about that, but we don't mind them. We'll give it a crack, see what we can do. Obviously, it's just a bit of mental rain at this point in time, just enough to you know, have you guessing. But no, we'll be ready anyway. We'll put the pin lock on the inside of the visor and prepare ourselves for all kinds of conditions. And yeah, we'll just try and see what the weather gods have got in for us. I mean, she's muggy down here at the minute. I feel like we're in bloody Malaysia. But no, it feels good. So warm-up was good. Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Jack. Good luck today.
Thank you.
We are definitely bordering Jack Miller time, aren't we? And it would be great if it just rained a bit more, just to mix things up a bit.
It is starting to. I'm looking at it now. Look at it. It is actually starting to sort of rest there. The tarmac's going a little bit darker. You know what I said? We just need a fraction more, and it will affect grip levels. Already, look now, that's affecting grip levels. You can see all the dark patches.
That's enough to affect the grip.
100%.
Just a few spots.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I mentioned it a lot. This bit here, the white painted edge of the curb. It's a narrow track. You have to use every millimetre of this track. Your front tyre needs to be on there in the braking zones. Right now, with this water on it, you are down with a slick tyre.
OK, we've talked very much about the front row of the grid. Frankie Morbidelli getting his podium. Let's just have a word about him today. What do you think his chances are?
Good chances on the front row of the grid. I don't know if Morbidelli is a real risk taker. You know, like now, you sat on the grid, you know your Jack Miller's going, he's like that, licking his chops. Morbidelli's more of a thinker.
Is Pedro Acosta licking his chops?
What do you reckon?
I think he is.
I know he is. It's got the Pedro feel to it. Do you think he's prepared to take a risk? Absolutely.
No reason not to, is there?
No reason not to. These are the chances where you can steal your first victory. And Pedro, I'm looking at him over there, he looks like a machine, he's ready to attack.
What's Jorge Martin thinking?
Nervous. It's horrible because now you're anxious, really anxious. When you've done all that work to build up that points lead, and now it's drizzling, and you've got slick tyres on. Same for everyone. No, it's not, because when you're leading the championship, you've got it all to lose.
Yeah, it's so much to think about here in Misano, isn't it? Let's head over to Michael and see if he can work out really what tyres they're going to run.
Workout being the operative word there, Susie. I did see the sheet about 4 minutes ago, and then it looked like everyone had opted for their front choice being a medium tyre, but as these spots of rain have come in, then the risk factor goes up, so perhaps if you switch into the soft, it does go the distance, just moves around a little bit more. The key tyre has been the rear, and that's been the one that no one can fully decide on. A little bit of a mixed grid. It was almost 50-50. The majority of the riders going for the soft rear. Marc Marquez looking for the soft, Pecco looking for the soft. Weirdly, and I did expect the soft to be in Jorge Martin's rear, but the provisional sheet has him on the medium rear tyre. So front tyre pressure was a massive issue for Pecco Bagnaia. He's going to nervously decide what pressure to put on tyre. Whether he can beat this man to turn one, that will decide which is the correct choice today. So pressure is a key on the bike, in the tyres, for the riders to deal with this mental rain. It's Dasic today. I am glad I am no longer a racer.
I never thought you would say that. There are nearly 90,000 fans in today. We are back to the time of Valentino Rossi, so a fantastic support. But just have a look at that down there, turn one. It is so much about the start here in Misano, as we saw yesterday. Yes, it was a shorter race, but it's such a tricky track to overtake. It's not impossible, but it's very difficult. And it's what left a bitter taste in the mouth of Francesco Bagnaia yesterday. He did not get that start right, and he knew from that moment on he couldn't get past Jorge Martin, and now he is 26 points behind the young Spaniard, more than a race win. That psychological disadvantage. Franco Morbidelli yesterday was on the podium. Let's not forget that this is their postcard. They are all from here. This is their backyard. They have so much to prove. I wonder if we can just try to come with me through to the second row of the grid. We've got Bez there. Not a good day for Bez yesterday, but he can do much better today. Obviously, we spoke yesterday, but let's get to the aggressive second row. Brad Binder, Pedro Acosta, and here is your championship leader. Jorge Martin then doing his final stretches. The number 89, leading the way by 26 points. He didn't expect yesterday to be able to get into the lead, but once he did, it was metronomic. So I guess the big question today is, can he get the same sort of start? Can he get ahead of Pecco Bagnaia? And can he keep his head and be as exact as he was around here? Yesterday, he got the flow so well. He was literally unbeatable. And this man has got all the pressure, all the stress, as we head into round 13, the Misano Grand Prix. Pecco Bagnaia trailing then by 26 points. What pressure there has been on this grid. There really has been very emotional. I'll leave you with that shot as we head for the Misano Grand Prix. Neil and Gav, it's all yours.
Tension is rising here at the Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli for round 13 of the Moto GP World Championship in 2024. Slicks or wets, that's the bet for half the field to try and decide upon here today, as the weather conditions are turning into an interesting combination. A flag to flag is possible, but one thing for certain, anybody has a chance to win this race today. Let's take a look then at how they line up on the starting grid here as well. The white flag has now been displayed as the warm-up lap starts. That now means that we have the chance of a flag to flag. The white flag being displayed means that it is raining and that the riders can change their bikes if it gets to worse. So we're not now expecting, unless the rain is heavy, the red flag to come out. This is the starting grid then. Pecco Bagnaia on pole position. Franco Morbidelli is second with Marco Bezzecchi in third. Jorge Martin is fourth. Pedro Costa fifth. Brad Binder sixth. Alex Marquez is seventh. Enea Bastianini is eighth. Marc Marquez ninth. Fabio Quartararo rounds out your top 10. Then it is Maverick Vinales 11th with Jack Miller in 12th. Aleix Espargaro is 13th with Fabio Di Giannantonio 14th. 15th for Pol Espargaro, 16th Johan Zarco, 17th Augusto Fernandez, 18th Miguel Oliveira, Rafa Fernandez 19th, Alex Rins is 20th, Taki Kagami is 21st, Stefan Bradl's 22nd. Luca Marini has withdrawn from the event with a viral infection. His teammate, Juan Mir, was already out with gastroenteritis, so neither of the LCR Hondas, the factory Repsol bikes, are going to go out of the track. Megan Birch alongside both of them.
What are they giving to them?
I have no idea, but Megan Birch alongside me in the commentary box.
Also, more bad things for anyone from this town.
Warm-up lap has started, but the white flag has been displayed, Megan, from race control. So the rain is here. They can now swap bikes, but it's going to be if it gets heavier and when it gets heavier. That's the question. Hello to you.
Now looking at that weather, it could hold off.
There is a big rainstorm due in, by the way. Like, huge.
I'm going to check the weather, see if it tells me anything more.
Don't need to. Simon Patterson, rain getting heavier. A little heavier from trackside.
What's the name again? Like, how to spell it?
Tyre choices for now. Everyone medium and front out there as well.
No, I mean the town.
It's up there. Anyway, stand up because it's ready for a start procedure. Green flag at the back. We're in a flag to flag here at Misano. Nobody knows what the next 27 laps holds. The World Championship's on the line. Pecco's on pole with 5 lights on. It's blast off in Misano. Great start this time for Franco Morbidelli. Once again, Jorge Martin's going to come on the inside line. They're side by side to the first corner and they almost touch. It's the 23 bike that's ahead, but Bagnaia leads the way. Look further back. Brad Binder, Marco Bezzecchi in a battle. Alex Marquez hasn't made a great getaway either, and now the smoke billowing in from turn 6 and 7. It's Martin up the inside, gets ahead of Franco Morbidelli as we head down into turn 7. Bagnaia leads, Martin second, Morbidelli third, Acosta fourth, Binder in 5th position. Then it's Bezzecchi, Marc Marquez, Bastianini, Quartararo. Morbidelli's right round the outside of Pedro Acosta, who's trying to come back through on the inside line. Hasn't worked out down here. Few riders going wide. Oh, a little bit of a tap there. Enea Bastianini having a battle. I think that was with Alex Marquez looking at it as well. Coming in, yes, it was. Alex is down to where Quartararo is. Oh, and going wide there is Fabio Di Giannantonio, losing more and more places. So does Marco Bezzecchi. So the two VR46s that retired in the sprint race yesterday are not having the rain coming down into Carvone as well. We've got some flags up and a little bit of a bike twitch from Bezzecchi. No one gone down yet, Megan, but we are in a flag to flag. They can change if they want to. Acosta's going wide. This it seems to be the dampest part of the track. It's the last sector.
It certainly seems it. That rain, I don't think it's going to hold off much longer, and Alex Marquez just loses position to Quartararo. No jump starts, and he's gained position again on Quartararo. We're in a battle.
Yep, no jump starts and race control. We can show you those messages now. We've just taken the blog off, so it's not that bad as the top two in the World Championship do battle once more. And Martin's trying to look up the inside and almost takes off this front tyre on the rear. 9 times out of 10 you go down the deck. That's the second time today we've seen a front wheel touch someone's rear tyre and they didn't go down. And that's a third. That's a third.
Is that debris just gone off?
Yes, it was. Acosta touching the back to Franco Morbidelli. That's twice in 2 corners. Somebody hits their front tyre on the rear tyre of the bike in front, and they don't go down the deck. And the rain's getting heavier as we come down into turn 8 as well. Alicia Spargo's gone a bit too deep as well, and it's all going off now as well as the rain gets heavier.
Did Antonio passes Alicia Spargo, and it is looking to get increasingly worse so far. And it just all seems so dramatic right now. And further down the field, Vinales has been passed by Paul Espargaro.
Simon Patterson is saying that the riders are sliding all over the place as well. We can see that the white flag has been displayed all the way around the circuit. We've also got the white flag with the red X. That indicates it's raining in that part of the circuit. It certainly is heavier in Sector 4. The 2 championship protagonists, though, nearly coming together. Martin trying to go on the inside into turn 3 on Bagnaia. Here it is again, Megan. He just puts it up too much. Bagnaia doesn't know he's there. It's the same situation as Aragon.
It is. Oh, and then he almost gets caught by his teammate just behind when he was trying to back off a little bit. But it's just. How much happened just then?
And the space of 2 laps, we've had so much. 1:32.089 for Pecco Bagnaia. He has the fastest lap of the race so far. This is Pedro Acosta on the inside of Franco Morbidelli. And there was a winglet that came off of somebody's bike. Well,
Just got a bit too close.
It must be Morbidelli's.
Yeah. It seems like it was Morbidelli's. And then again, it could have been. It might. Oh, it's Acosta's. I think or something.
TPMS not active due to white flag as Acosta dives up the inside of Franco Morbidelli at turn 8. Acosta up to 3rd. Now, what is the TPMS not active?
I don't know what it is.
Track map system not working?
I mean, it has to be. I don't know what else it could be.
Morbidelli back through on the inside of Pedro Acosta at turn 9 as well. So
Morbidelli does not want to give up his position.
Yeah, just to point out to you, we'll share it on the race control messaging that we have up in the commentary box. TPMS not active due to white flag. Don't know what that means. Track positioning marshalling system. That's what's going. That's what it is.
You just figured out.
Track positioning marshalling system. So that is the boards around the circuit. They're not active due to the fact that they are showing white flags. So if there's a yellow flag, they'll have to rely on the yellows themselves. But that's not going to help the rider because they don't get that information from race control.
That's going to make the situation a whole lot more complicated.
It is going to make it more complicated as well with the white flag still being out. It is a flag-to-flag race then, if we have to. The white flag was displayed just before the race started. So they'll continue to push and continue to attack as we are keeping this race glued on the monitors.
Fastest on track is now Morbidelli.
Oh, that's not surprising, really. I kind of expected that on the GP23 bike as well, because he can just tail in the 24s. The 24s have more torque. 23 lasts this condition better overall. As we take a look on board, this is with Marc Marquez in the white Gresini this weekend. The men in white, they said, over on the board as well for Gresini.
Just going to quickly calculate the possible time, so that's 91 seconds.
Well, you've got to remember as well that if the rain gets heavier, the lap goes to about 2 minutes. So,
oh, this is actually
30, yeah, it's not that long of a race in dry conditions, but in wets it changes several times. So you do have to be careful. As we take a look, there's Brad Binder and Ayabashi just behind him. Pedro Acosta.
Acosta down.
No, he's gone off. I think Acosta's just gone wide.
No, he's down.
No, you're right. He's dropped out. Yeah. So Acosta was off the circuit, I saw, and then he's just dropped it coming
right
down.
After.
Yeah, that's down at turn 14, and he's in the gravel as well. I don't know how that's happened.
He's trying to push up his spine.
He'll get going again. I reckon he's tried to rejoin, and the track is damp there. Oh, he's put gravel all over this circuit, and no one's going to like him for that. So watch him. He gets offline, he comes back on, turns in, and the front end's just going to dip because there's no traction. I reckon the painted line had water on it, and he's come back on the track, tried to turn in. Oh, and there it goes.
He still never let go of his bike.
He still doesn't know. He continues to hold on against that as well.
It's like he tries to push his bike towards him, just like, no, you do not go on the wall.
Well, Acosta as well had contact with Morbidelli on lap 2. On lap 5, he's down, and the top two factory bikes now moving away on the Grand Prix 24s. Morbidelli is joining them in battle, so it's a three-way fight at the front. Then it's Bastianini, Binder, Marc Marquez, Miller, Bezzecchi, all sort of closing in on the tail-end fight. I'd even throw in Alex Marquez in 9th position. He's closing in nicely as well. But no one at the moment seems to be wanting to focus on the fact that the rain is just staying the level, that psychological rain. It's not getting heavier, it's not getting worse at the moment. It's light rain, according to our timing systems up here in the commentary box. If it does go flag to flag, then we get worse. Well, if they have to come in for it.
Have you noticed how all 3 Hondas, if Rins get out of the way, would be in a row near the back of the grid?
Yeah, Rins down in 20th position because he's coming back from injury and isn't having the greatest restart to his season. But I agree with you, Megan. They would be all together in a line, and I think that's something that even they know needs to be worked on a little bit more.
Does Antonio his bike didn't look right just then.
No. Digi's sliding around like crazy. Remember yesterday that VF46 wasn't right. But when was the last time we saw Franco Morbidelli in a position to win a race? His last race victory was Valencia in 2020. But Morbidelli does like this circuit. His first ever race win in Moto GP came here in 2020 at Misano in San Marino's Grand Prix. So he knows how to win races here.
He needs to win again.
He can win again as well as he closes out. He was on a Yamaha back in the day as well, don't forget. As they continue to close in. I can see the raindrops are falling as Marco Bezzecchi versus Jack Miller. And yeah, you're right, he's going to be forced wide. Just doesn't get the traction on. Alex Marquez beautifully slips it through on the inside line and takes over. So that's Miller 7th, Marquez 8th, and Bezzecchi down to 9th. And maybe a bit, that's Miller also under attack from Alex Marquez. So
further down the field, Ralph Fernandez passes Vinales. So Vinales goes even further down the field. I feel like it's very...
What's happened to him in the second half of this season as well, with 7 to go after this one.
Something just does not feel right there.
It does not, as they continue to fly through. There's the grab from Acosta coming on the circuit, so they'll get that out of the way. Over the line we go once more. 21 laps to go. Morbidelli's out!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
But we're watching the TV picture, so how's that happen? He's going to drop it into turn 1. There he goes. Out goes Morbidelli. He crashes out of the first corner, and the chance of victory has gone away from him. After such his airbag's gone off, but after such a great lunge, he's down. And out goes Franco Morbidelli.
Why? Why Morbidelli? Out of everyone.
The rain's getting heavier. That's why, Megan. The rain's getting heavier down to the first few corners.
Alex Marquez goes into 6th, though.
The rain is getting heavier. The rain is getting heavier. So this is now going to play a factor. We thought it was easing off. Look at this down to turn 8. You can see the rain, fine rain coming down.
So much moisture.
And they're all going wide as well. Miller passes Marquez. That's Alex Marquez out of the way. But they're all taking the wide line. You can see that the damp part's coming through. The rain is here. It is raining. It is raining. Back now, Martin on the track again. It's visibly raining. Now is the time to pit. So that's from Simon Patterson in the pit lane. The bikes are getting ready. It's a flag to flag.
Morbidelli could start again on that.
If he can, now that is a point. If Morbidelli's bike can get restarted, he can get back in and they're all off the track. They're all going off. Off goes Martin wide. And it's really hammering it down now in Misano.
I can foresee so many track limits.
Into Carvone they come, but they'll be excused because it's wet weather. They'll get a free pass. The track limits won't matter that much, but they have to come in this lap. Now the flag to flag rule is you come in and change. Martin is coming in. Bagnaia is not. Bagnaia is not coming in. So the World Championship leader enters the pit lane. He feels the time is right, and now this is crucial because he's going to fall out of the points paying positions. Several other riders coming in.
Aleix Espargaro, Ralph Fernandez, Vinales spelt wrong for some reason.
And in comes Jorge Martin, a beautiful
Acosta,
pit stop.
Fernandez, Augusto.
But is it wet enough out there? That's the question. The pit lane looks bone dry, but it's a different tarmac to what it is out there on the circuit. Oh boy! And there's a yellow flag in the last sector as
Martin rejoins.
Augusto Fernandez has crashed out. That brings out a yellow flag. Martin, Fernandez, Aleix Espargaro, Ralph Fernandez, Vinales, Rins, Acosta. They're all in the pit lane. Morbidelli's out of the race and Fernandez going down. And these come back in now.
Rejoined.
Aleix Espargaro's crashed out. Aleix has crashed out. He's come back out as well. So Aleix has gone down, coming out the pit lane, and he's come up and gone again. The rain's getting heavier. Look at Bagnaia. Bagnaia was 4 seconds in front. He is right there with Brad Binder. And there's contact as Miller goes through on Marc Marquez. The top 14 that haven't pitted are right up there together. No sign of the red flag at the moment because they don't need to be. But now they've all got to come in to change in the pit lane. I don't know why they've gone the extra lap. Martin has swapped over. The 14 up haven't. 15 down to 20 have.
Marc Marquez goes into second place.
This is unbelievable. The rain.
2 points.
Martin's only got 2 points, but how long for? Because look at Marc Marquez. He is the king of these conditions. He passes the 2 KTMs of Binder and Miller, and he's going round the outside of Pecco Bagnaia. Marc Marquez is going to have the lead of this race. He's on the inside, but that blocks Bagnaia coming into the pit lane. And Marc Marquez leads. The 2 KTMs are side by side into Misano, and Miller passes Binder, and Marquez leads in San Marino.
But when are they all going to go into the pits? And that was Brad Binder repassing Alex Marquez.
Bastianini's in trouble now. Look at that. Bang Martin will lead by 7 points, but it's a 9-way fight, maybe 10-way fight for the race victory here. Alex Marquez under pressure as well. He's going to get lunge on the inside and contact and cutter. That's going to be Quartararo and Alex Marquez go wide. It's all happening so much we can barely keep across it. Marquez leads, but look at that's Marc. He's got 2 tenths to Bagnaia. Miller's in 3rd, Binder's 4th, Bastianini's in 5th, and then it's all hell coming further back as Alex Marquez sends it out the inside of Marco Bezzecchi, but Fabio Quartararo's there, locking up the rear and almost having a high side. Oh boy, this San Marino Grand Prix is dramatic. Here comes Bezzecchi back through on the inside. Quartararo sits it out through 9, tries to cut back, but it's too wet for that. Whoa! They've got to pit, surely. One of them is going to end up going down. Marc Marquez is the king of these type of conditions, but even he can't stay on if there's more water on the track. Well, my money's on Bagnaia crashing out, to be fair.
To be honest, I think it's one of the back 3 of them because they're bound to take each other off.
They are battling like crazy. You are right there as well. But they're not stopping this lap time. They don't feel like they need to. Now, what's the lap time comparisons, Megan? For those who have stopped and haven't, so Marc and Martin.
Those who have not stopped are actually quicker on the track than those who have stopped.
Marquez's last lap time was a 1:34.5. We're waiting for...
Martin's was a 1:46.
But we're waiting for him to come through. That was his pit lap. We're waiting for him to come through for another lap time around, so we need to hold on for that one. Martin is in 15th at the moment, getting 1 point paying position. Martin is coming out the last corner soon, so we will get that lap time now. They're 2 seconds a lap slower. This might actually... Martin's coming back into the pits. Martin's into the pit lane.
Why?
So it's not wet enough yet. But can you do that? Can you swap bikes back? I don't think you can.
No, I don't think you can.
Unless
it's some problem we're not aware of.
You can't. Look, he's come back in. He knows. And Ralph Fernandez coming in as well. So that everybody who's swapped over... This is amazing. Everybody who's swapped over to the wet bikes have gone too soon. And now the Martin's just standing because they don't know what the rule is. This is unbelievable. The World Championship leader is just standing in the pit lane waiting to get on one of the bikes.
And
this is an omni shambles going on now as Bagnaia tries to come back through on the inside of Calvone and Marc Marquez. Hasn't worked out. And they're going to be lapped. They are going to be actively lapped.
Martin rejoins the race.
He's on slicks.
He knows he's lost.
He's on slicks. But now look, the track is dry. It's not wet.
Everyone who has pitted has just made the huge mistake, and everyone who has not has calculated and actually saw it through, testing how bad the rain was going to get.
I said this would be a World Championship deciding weekend. How right was I? Because we saw Bagnaia crash out. We saw there's Martin there, and there's the race leader, and he's lapped. The championship leader has been lapped by Alex Marquez, Marc Marquez, Pecco Bagnaia, and all the rest of them who haven't stopped. The World Championship leader is lapped, and now Pecco Bagnaia is going to be really, really enthused because he will bring the championship down to 2 points.
I can feel Bagnaia laughing.
This is just swings and roundabouts in Moto GP in 2024. You never know what's going to happen next.
Jack Miller's in third.
And where did that come from? The man who has been kind of announced as officially joining Prima Pramac when they have the Yamaha engine next year. He's now running in third position, holding off Renee Pastionini.
And may I just say, Honda are in a row, but they're in the middle of the grid and all have points.
And here comes Pecco Bagnaia into Carvone. I thought he was going to have a lunge there on Mark.
Rins has entered the pit lane.
Well, he was on the other tyre as well, so he swapped back.
Yeah, he's on wets right now.
Yeah, so that's going to be Martin back up into a points-paying position. What on earth is going on in this championship? As Kieran says, it's snakes and ladders. This is an absolute disaster, says SHT as well. Josh can have a break. Josh is not going to have a break. No, it's absolutely just non-stop. And the best thing is, we're only on lap 11 of 27. There's 16 laps to go, and there's more rain coming behind that little cell that disrupted the race. What's going to happen next?
I have no idea. Rins has rejoined the race.
Bastianini's looking for a move on the inside line. And Jack Miller for third position coming out of turn 3, not doing it. Through 4, nothing there. 5 and 6 comes back. The double loop around. Miller sliding out the rear of the bike. Bastianini tries to get the cut back, not going to work out. Alex is ahead of Brad Binder. Ice to the front though with Bagnaia and Marc Marquez closing up as well. Fantastic Grand Prix at the moment.
Almost an entire lap behind Martinez right now.
Yeah, Bastianini's going to go lunging up the inside into turn 8, trails back in and goes for it. Miller tries the cut back, can't do it. Up into third. Oh, maybe he can. No.
Just shy of it.
Oh my goodness me. This is certainly one of the best races of the year.
You don't even have a drink to help you.
No, I do not. And the door's shut as well, so it's getting quite humid here in the UK.
I had a dry throat today already.
What on earth is going to happen next in this one? I'm glad that we're not on until about 4 o'clock now for our next one. For the coverage on the Goodwood Revival. I get a little bit of a lie down for the last few races. This is This is beyond insanity. This is absolute mental racing right now. Now, where is Martin? Martin is officially a lap down. If you look at the monitor, he is a lap down on the rest of the field. So Jorge Martin is currently in 15th. He'll pick up 1 World Championship point only with 15 laps to go. He is outside of any realms of winning this race. Unless it really rains, but then he'll have to come in as well. So
he's not going to win.
He's not going to win. They've lost it. Everyone who swapped bikes earlier on have lost it. And they've all gone a lap down.
They all made a huge mistake. But surprisingly, the Hondas never did make that mistake. And now they have 3 in a row and are all getting points.
13, 14, and it's been 12, 13, 14. Zarco, Nakagami, Brado.
Everyone who did not pit has just guaranteed themselves points.
Comically, they're all the LCR Hondas as well.
Yeah.
With Brado wildcarding this weekend. This is absolutely insane racing. All the LCRs, Hondas, the top 14 says, SHT, back up your point, Megan. This race has kind of settled down now into a rhythm because the rain has not come down as hard as we thought it would.
Now they're all just determined to get as much gap between each other as they can.
Just taking a look at Simon Patterson's Twitter to see if there's any information that I've missed as Alex Marquez closing up. He's got the 2 KTMs right alongside him, Miller ahead and Bagnaia behind him as well. This is absolutely... Yeah, I agree. They needed to... This is unbelievable at all. Martin laps, back in for slicks again to try and take a look at it. This is perfect for Bagnaia. Let Marquez find the wet spots because he's in the title threat. So yeah, let Bagnaia just stay in second place until the last lap and then pounce Marc.
Or just stay there, let Marc have a second win.
2 wins in a row could be coming for Marc Marquez, who predicted that coming in. I think I did actually for my pick a winner. I might be getting my pick a winner right for that one. I hope so. Marc is good in these mixed conditions. How's Alex? Well, he too is a world champion, and he's right behind Jack Miller. Jack Miller, who won his first ever Grand Prix in the Netherlands at Assen in 2016.
He's not doing too badly.
Yeah, not bad at all. The Aprilias are F, says SHT. That they are, 16 and 18 in the lap down.
Acosta passes Alicia Spargo for 0 points.
And yeah, that's just for 17th position, so effectively ignore 15 down. It's the 14s that are in this battle, but I don't know. We've still got that chance of more rain coming in. It's not over yet, Megan.
15 downs.
Yeah.
15 downs just fighting for a single point.
Why did Mark... Now, I'm very surprised that the rules have allowed them to swap bikes back. I thought the rule for
I
flag
won't
to
allow.
flag was you can only swap bikes once, but no, they've all come back in for slicks.
Then they're going to change them another time.
I think
after
it's a
that.
new set of slicks for Martin, isn't it? 9 laps in the front. Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, Martin, 9 lap front and 3 laps soft rear. Now, is that bit allowed, where you can swap the rear tyre out during the race? Well, the stewards will deliberate on that one. I presume it is, otherwise they wouldn't have done it. They would have studied that rule book like crazy. Marc Marquez leads.
They changed Mark's bike a bit this race.
Instead of, well, yes, 1, the livery's different. So that's all. But yes, 2, they have had a little bit of an aero update to that bike. Even though it's the GP23, they've put a little bit of the 24 on it. Just a touch of aero updates on the winglets at the front there.
That explains why it's so far up.
It does look a bit different, and I don't think... look at Gigi Delineau. Would Gigi Delineau really press that big red button? The metaphorical red button, I must say, as well. What we would actually do was... everyone says, oh, the red button shut down all the bikes that aren't Pecos to win the championship. I don't think he would do that. And Alex Marquez has passed on the inside line, getting ahead of Jack Miller into the braking zone for turn 8.
Woohoo! Getting closer and closer to that podium.
Look at the 2 KTMs, though, having a battle. This is energetic stuff, isn't it?
It is. And it'd be nice for Mark to win again with Alex actually on the podium too.
Yeah, I didn't get it last time I had gone, with Alex crashing out in a battle with Pecco Bagnaia. But they are now running in that order again, so it's not completely out of the realms of possibility that could be on for another accident. The 2 KTMs getting a bit too close together. Jack Miller in 5th and Brad Binder in 6th position, holding it on. Oh, I'm loving this race. Bagnaia was faster than Mark in that last sector, so they are flying around on deltas. Over the line we go then, with 12 laps remaining in the Moto GP San Marino Grand Prix. Marc Marquez leads with Pecco Bagnaia 2nd, Enea Bastianini's 3rd, Alex Marquez 4th. GP23, then it's GP24, 24, then GP23. So, which is the faster bike again in these conditions? Yeah, just the rider more than the bike itself. And these two, of course, teammates next year. Marc Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia on the factory red team. And Enea Bastianini moving over to, I believe, Gasgas, if I'm not mistaken. I just don't know what's going to happen next. SHT says, we are getting more glimpses of the potential ride between the next year. Teammates, absolutely. Mark is going to... Now, Pecco Bagnaia, I've always said, is a bit of a lucky world champion. He's done some fantastic racing, but he's not been in the position where he's gone, okay, let's focus down. If Marc Marquez comes back in, he's going to whip Bagnaia, and Bagnaia's going to try and whip him back. So the duel next year is going to be amazing. Then everybody else, all the other big Ducati riders being forced out and moving over to just as equally good machinery. Oh, we're in for a great year.
So they're going to be at each other's throats.
I'd like to say hello to William Razin, who has joined the JBMotorsports membership as well. He's our new member on the channel. Welcome to you. There's a brand new members video actually coming out tomorrow, where JT's been trackside with some caravans, and all the caravans got destroyed. So JT's been trackside again at his local raceways, and those videos will be going to the members tomorrow over the next 3 days as well. Aleix Espargaro enters the pit lane. Now he's 18th, Megan. Do you reckon that could be just a bye-bye-bye?
It could be, because honestly, what's he going to do? Change to wet tyres again when it's cloudy weather?
Rin's now up, so Augusto Fernandez and Franco Morbidelli are the only two that are out of this race. We will keep an eye on it as well. So hello, William. I hope you enjoy the members' channels. In fact, the main channel actually on JBMotorsports, we're getting a bit of a redo, so all the new thumbnails are coming on soon as well. I think JT said he was at Mendips Raceway. That's where they were.
Coincidentally, Aleix Espargaro is one of only 3 riders right now to actually improve their last lap time score. So.
Yeah, he's closing up on these two battling at the front, aren't they, as well? So Marc Marquez lifting up the pace a little bit. Just letting it all fly up. Again, the helicopter camera getting a little bit of rain on it. But no sign of it actually changing. It just says cloudy now. No sign of any light rain on our monitors from the race control information that you can see back at home as well. That data that you're seeing is the same data we have up here in the commentary box.
What was that on the track?
Where? Didn't see.
It was like a wet patch.
Probably was.
Yeah, though it was in the shape of like oil.
Could be reflections of a visor strip.
No, it was big.
Again, could be a visor strip. Gravel was also there. Don't forget Acosta went down there earlier on in the race.
It was like a darker version of the track, and it was like that big.
Could be a donut line. There was some revving earlier on with some...
No, it was all filled in.
I have not got a clue. I'll keep an eye on it. Where is it? Last two corners? I'll have a look at it. I was looking at the timing screen at that moment of the race.
I'll tap you when I see it again.
Just say there and I'll spot it. Down to turn 8. So the race now calming down. The top 3 are moving in, but looking at the distance, there are more rain clouds hovering in. Now look at that for the first sector. I don't usually do this, but take a look at the full timing screen. Look at that. Marc Marquez, 20.4. 20.4 for Bagnaia, 20.4, but exactly the same lap time, sector 1, for Bagnaia and Enea Bastianini. Like 20.457, the pair of them.
That's coincidental.
That is insanely coincidental between... it's unbelievable how close you can get. Now, it's at this part of the track back coming into Calvone, you say?
About.
Right, let's have a look then. It's round here.
It was while you were speaking before.
So, we'll cut to the angle now. Couldn't spot it. They could have patched it. I heard there was a lot of patchwork.
No. I think it might have been like early corners.
Marc Marquez twisting a little bit into turn 1, the rear snapping out. Here's the battle further back though. SHT says this will also be huge for Cassini to close in on Prima Primac and the constructors. Massively so. This is more from Simon Patterson. Aleix Spargo, by the way, has technical problems. That's why he's out of the race. Just to update you on what Simon's saying, I doubt Marc Marquez's crew expects him to be out in front like this and might be a little relieved there's no tyre pressure penalties in a flag-to-flag race. That's true. So Marc Marquez doesn't have to worry about tyre pressures when the race is declared flag-to-flag because the conditions factor into that.
True.
So it's a flag-to-flag. Tyre pressures don't matter. So, in fact, you could run a really illegal bike and you wouldn't be called on tyre pressures because there's no need. So all those investigations that pop up post-race won't be popping up today.
Well, that's good.
Which means Marc Marquez can just keep out doing it at front. It looks like the man in white might be doing a good job. Now, this is proof that the race is slowing down. A little bit of dust. No rain, I can see, Megan, on that. And you can see Bagnaia's eyes locked in on Marc Marquez.
He's just like, where are you going?
He's almost smiling. Looks like a smiling viper, doesn't he?
That's because Martine's literally out of way of winning.
Is it there you're on about?
It might be.
Yeah, it's a patch.
I'm not sure.
It's a patch in the circuit.
I'm not sure if it... Very strange.
Rain's coming in harder. So there's more rain about 5 minutes away. We've got 8 to go. We might get that rain coming in again. So the end of this race could be quite exciting, but we are, just like to point out, we are past 2/3 race distance. Megan.
I think it was a smaller bit alongside it too.
Keep an eye. Well, they did have to patch after the accidents earlier on in the weekend.
I hope it was just a patch because it looked darker, it looked fresher. Like someone's just watered it with a watering can.
So just take a look on the socials. Again, don't have a go. Imagine if they had radios between pits and riders. This race would be really bleep with the team managing the riders, telling them what to do, no mistakes. That's true. They have been saying that the ship-to-shore radio is coming in MotoGP, but they don't want the riders say, well, we don't want it. And Dorna and Lamar saying, well, you're going to have it. And it says, well,
they're not going to use it.
Yeah, so the only way the riders say, okay, we'll have it, but is only if race direction can tell us and talk to us. Like, if there's a red flag, it will crash anything. They don't want to be managed. They want to ride the race themselves and be solo.
Yeah, but also, how are they going to use it?
I know.
For people who literally have to keep their hands on two handles, do they expect them going to be like, okay.
Also, these guys are in their own heads during races. So imagine right now, Bagnai's turning in leaning angle. The engineer goes, "Okay, Pecco." Oh, down we go. Suddenly you get a voice of God in the back of your head, and it's like, what on earth was that? And you're in a focus zone.
It's not like when you're in a car.
Exactly my point.
It's a bike.
Yeah, you have to be focused every single time. You
You're
know exactly how it feels.
You're literally using your own balance.
Yeah, you don't want to be mid-corner and hear from an engineer, and then you go down on the deck and it costs you a championship.
And most of it is corners.
Yeah. I mean, the teams do have radios, but that's to talk to themselves and to tell what to put out on the pit board. Just leave it with the pit board. It's done for 75 years. Why do we need more?
It's like some technology just doesn't work in some parts.
Marquez has opened up the throttle. He's pulled out 4.8 seconds to Enea Bastianini, and now he's pulled out a second to Bagnai, but Bagnai's gone with him. He's tried to at least. 20 laps in before track limits warning. Yeah, first track. Aleix Espargaro is out of the race. So we have confirmation on our radio here. Aleix Espargaro entered the pits and retired. Fabio Di Gianantonio has a track limits warning as well. Megan has spotted the radar.
Rain.
Ah, okay, it's coming in
On
more.
the camera lens.
Right, they would have cleaned that as well.
Higher
So,
up.
Marc Marquez looking very good with his sector times.
It was like misty rain.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be, I think. No, what's wrong with that? P2, 6 laps to go. Your gap to Marc Marquez 1.2. Perfect, I understood that. You can't have many... Oh, is it that? The donuts in the little section of the track.
No, it was tight. It was just like a big blob. Like, do you know when you just spill a bit of water on the ground?
Yeah, go on.
It was like that.
I was just checking the good revival. Very impressed with your laptops over there.
Thank you.
It has another 6 laps to go.
By the way, tomorrow and Tuesday, you're barely going to see me. Because I'm just going to be... I'm just going to be writing up transcripts all day so that I can make room for more transcripts.
6 laps to go. Marc Marquez leading by 1.4 seconds. So what started out as an absolute cracker, once again has turned into the Marc Marquez show. Oh, and Bezzecchi passes Miller.
At least Bezzecchi's doing something good this weekend. He has not had the best of it this weekend.
All this does is change the championship back into what we wanted it to be. We were all really annoyed when Pecco crashed last time out and the gap was 23 points in the championship.
And now, Martin made a mistake. And it fixed it.
This is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be. One will make the mistake, the next like that, yin and yang for the next 9 races.
It all depends just which one makes the mistake in the final one.
Just like to point out, Megan, as well, we've got 6 races in the next 7 weeks. So that's a lot of back-to-backs coming up.
Martin, track limits one.
Aha! Will he lose that point? Actually, he might, He might lose his last point. We should really actually be looking at the battle. Here it is now, because there's Jorge Martin, and there's Maverick Vinales. So Martin might not get any points in this race at all, as Vinales goes to the inside line. Has he made that position for 15th? That could be crucial in the World Championship, not just yet, but we'll have to keep an eye on that, because every point counts in this championship, and if Martin loses out, the gap in the championship's could be theoretically down to 2 if Bagnai wins the race.
Here's the battle, and it is very cloudy out there. Binder track limits warning.
Another flashing up on the monitor. Oh, it's a yin and yang, this race. Fantastic. Martin holding on. This is the battle for 15th, the last points paying position. Both a lap down.
So far, it's Ducati 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this is fantastic. He's got new software time, remember, Martin. Hasn't done all the race distance.
What was that from Digital?
Don't know, but Marc Marquez was 7 tenths faster than Bagnai on that last lap. The guy's on 2 seconds.
Jeez. He really wants that second friend.
Zarco's flying out. This is Rins. This is over... well, how is this over battle for 12th? Because Rins is a lap down. Okay, the graphic didn't even realise that. The TV director doesn't know that that's not a battle on the circuit. That's Rins, who is in 19th position, a lap down. And there's Johan Zarco, who's on the lead lap in 12th. Now he's realised that was not the battle for 12th position. far from it.
The person who is next to Zarco right now may have a blue car, but bike. But he's not even the same team.
It's Miguel Oliveira.
Yeah.
In the track house.
I mean, Rins' teammate is all the way up in 8th.
Fabio Quartararo, and doing a very good race, I might add, for Fabi at this one. A track where he clinched his World Championship in 2021. There goes Marc Marquez. Of course Marc is going to have his day. 2 in a row. I'm back, baby. That's what he's going to be saying. Here comes the men in white.
Bezzecchi track limits.
And Alex Marquez goes wide, coming out of Calvone. Marco Bezzecchi looks to throw it up the inside line. He's getting super tight into turn 15 now as well. Marquez shuts that door. Bezzecchi will just challenge him. 3 to go here in San Marino.
2.3. Quartararo track limits.
Oh, well, that's our fault. We said about it.
Yeah, at least. Oh my god.
It's fast like that last time as well, Marc Marquez. Compared to Pecco Bagnaia.
Does the 2 arrows pointing each way mean they've changed bikes? Or
Yes.
like laps?
That's a bike swap. Because swap.
I wonder if they will get a penalty.
You alright?
Yeah.
You want to try that again?
No. I wonder if they'll get a penalty.
I
Okay, go.
doubt. Yeah, we should try 3rd time. Okay, that was well timed. That was Vinales' data card coming up. Do you think they'll get a penalty?
Yeah, do you think they'll get a penalty?
I don't know. Stewards don't take notice of bikes, and the consistency's all over the place. I think they might get away with it. They would have black flagged them by now.
Maybe I just want them to finish the race. I am super tired and I do not feel well.
Oh, look at Bezzecchi closing in on Alex. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Someone give me a cattle prod. Just up the inside. Again, just edgy on the brakes. Marquez is now 2.3 seconds clear to Bagnaia with 2 laps to go. Oh, that's a brave move from Bezzecchi, trying to go on the outside line at turn 14. Not the way. 2 left at 15 and 16. Super fast last corner here. I think he's practicing for a dive bomb on the last lap. He's have to wait because there's 2 to go. Down towards turn number 1 again. Just holding it together nicely. Marc Marquez in complete control of this race. Pecco Bagnaia in P2. Bastiani's 3rd, Binder's 4th, Alex Marquez P5. It's an interesting little championship battle that's developing here. I'm enjoying this. Because now we're going into a week's break. Then we're back here at Misano for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. But then the flyaways, Indonesia, Japan when I'm away. It's going to be to and fro. Oh, to make you a bit happier, Japan's an hour earlier this year, so you get to go back to bed early. Then it's back over to...
That also means I have to wake up early.
Yeah, but then it's over to Australia. And you like Australia because it's at 2 a.m. for us, so you just go back to bed afterwards. Wait till I tell there's a Formula 1 race on Monday. In America, it's fine, it's fine.
So it's late at night.
Yes. Does mean that we are completely screwed because we actually technically have Moto GP, F1 in the morning for us. Yeah, Megan's now just working that out. Bezzecchi's going to go for it. He's launched up Alex Marquez into turn 14. I told you he was planning it. Oh, Alex tries to come back. Can't do it. Marco Bezzecchi up into 5th position. Superb move. That was perfect. On the inside line at 14. Shut the door when it needed to. Didn't let Alex come back through, and it's perfect.
And we're back to the battle for 15.
Marc Marquez is on his last lap, about to win his 87th career victory across 125cc, Moto 2 and Moto GP. It will be his 61st victory in the series and back-to-back as well on the line. Look at that. He's 3.1 seconds clear to Bagnaia. Bagnaia very much just thinking of the championship right now. I can't, look at that. It's a classic livery. On course to win a race. It looks beautiful. It's the same livery they had in Silverstone.
Huh.
In case you were realising it looked familiar. Yeah, that weekend when everybody thought that they were all in white and we could not work out what the hell was going on.
And we just had to differentiate them by the stripes.
Tal says, are my eyes really showing Marc Marquez leading a race? For the second week running, your eyes are not deceiving you. It's the last sector. He took a grand slam a week ago in Aragon. He said, don't call it a comeback. I've been here all season long, ready and willing. Just give me the opportunity. In his conditions, he soared again. The man in white is number one in Italy. The San Marino Grand Prix goes to Marc Marquez. The 2 back-to-back races have been won by Magic Mark. Second for Bagnaia. Anea Bastianini in his home race is third. Binder is fourth. Bezecchi finishes in 5th place as well. What an absolutely storming ride. Anea Bastianini in Rimini is on the podium. His home race, literally. But it's, look at Mark. It's 2019 all over again. Week after week. Come on, he's saying.
He's so happy.
Alex Marquez finally gets to congratulate him on the circuit. Marc Marquez wins the San Marino Grand Prix. His second win in a row and of the season. His 61st career win. I don't think there's anything stopping him from winning the rest of the year.
There better not be anything.
He's been nowhere all weekend long and he's got it. Fantastic. Back to back. That is sheer poetry.
He's not even holding onto the bike.
No, he's not. On a greasy track.
I don't understand how Mark somehow has the ability to turn the bike while he is not holding onto it.
First time Mark has won back-to-back wins since the last races he won. The last 2 races he won in MotoGP were back-to-back, America and Emilia-Romagna at this circuit. He's now gone back and won Aragon, and he's won here at Misano again. So he does back-to-back, stops a while, back-to-backs. He's not going to stop now. He is a man returned to form.
I feel like he feels a lot more confident.
Oh, 100%. Look at the championship there. Martin leads 312 points to Bagnaia, 305. A 7-point difference back. And you know, with the amount of races we've got left, if Bagnaia and Martin continue... Marc Marquez only 53 points back. It's not that far back.
Take it easily.
We've got further gaps in Moto 2 and Moto 3.
Yeah, it's a bigger gap in F1, but we still think Lando might take it.
Exactly. Marc Marquez stands every chance of being the ultimate surprise and showing these young guns exactly who's boss.
If you have that gap at this point in the season, then it's still entirely possible. I mean, it's not really anyone's game stopping until like the last 3 to 4 races of the year.
Yeah. And considering that Bagnaia and Martin continue to have these moments where they're just up and down, Marquez, I think, has come back from like 160, something like that. He's come back massively. I've opened up IndyCars in MotoGP. I've done it again. I'm trying to get to the chat there. Martin did get that last points paying position, so it's not 6 points, but he is going to regret that decision to come in because it was his choice.
He didn't think it through.
No, he didn't. Let's just take a look at the races we've got coming up. Emilia-Romagna at this circuit again. Mixed conditions again, anybody's guess. Indonesia, that's a Marquez type kind of track. Japan, well, we all know Marc Marquez loves Japan. He's won championships there as galore. Australia, high-speed circuit, that suits Mark. Thailand, he's done it before. He went on a Honda, he nearly won it. Malaysia and Valencia as well. So what's that? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19... 27 races left, plus 7 races. 14 races effectively still left this season. A hell of a long way to go.
It's a good amount of time.
It's 7 plus... It's technically 12 and a half races left because you had the sprints for his half points. But that's still enough time for Marc Marquez to get himself back in the title fight easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Do you reckon he's going to be thinking that?
Possibly.
After these 2 races?
He's certainly going to be told it.
Yeah. And Bagnaia and Martin are going to be very worried because if these 2 continue making mistakes, Marquez is now on form.
And then they see the man who has had so many championships in MotoGP starting to win more races. They're going to be shaking.
I would love it if Marc Marquez ended up winning this title in whatever bizarre end of season twist we've got coming.
It would be so funny.
Yeah. Which Ducati wins it? Oh, Marc Marquez on his first go, yeah. It's just sheer poetry. I am in love with what we're watching right now in Moto GP. And even in Formula 1. We start the year going, oh, it's going to be boring, it's boring. We get to halfway and we go, what on earth's going to happen next week?
Do you know, with the Europe team for F1,
Yeah.
the points scored for each team, Red Bull were fourth, whereas McLaren had massive
yeah.
height, and then I think it was Ferrari, and then it was Mercedes.
And it's going to continue in like this.
And then Haas.
Yeah, Haas have had a good proposal. But it's going to continue like this because if you look at the races in the last couple, Marc's got more points than any of the two championship leaders compared to him, because the two, they keep making mistakes. Martin crashed out in Germany. Bagnaia crashes out in Aragon. It's just those mistakes are cataclysmic.
And they're just leading to Marc
And
winning.
what happened in Silverstone? Someone went down at Silverstone, remember? It was to and fro at the line.
Bagnaia, I think.
Yeah. It's just more and more, again and again and again.
Right, I'm going to go.
The RAC Club TT Celebration is an hour-long race.
So that's 3:30. It ends.
Is that at 2:30 it starts?
Yeah.
I'm just double-checking that. I'll be covering. Oh, great. So I'll go for another hour to an hour.
Did I just see Rossi?
Valley's here, yeah. Yeah, 2:30 until 3:30, and then the Glover Trophy. Go back then to the Glover. Great, so I've got an hour race coming up after
You
that.
get like an hour break.
No, I don't.
50.
Nope.
30.
Nope.
Did you get some sort of break?
I don't know. Right, cheers, Meg. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you in a week for I'll thinking, but yeah. Anyway, let's head down to the pit lane and join our TNT commentators.
Right from Enea Bastianini into third place. Another podium to his account for the year. That's his 7th podium of the season, actually, Bastianini. You do feel for him that he's about to move on to a satellite KTM next year.
Yeah, you can't imagine that being great, can you?
Well,
It's going to be hard.
there's work for them to do.
Yeah.
Even though Brad Binder was 4th, Jack Miller was 8th. It's his future teammate alongside him in Parc Fermé.
He looks exhausted, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's been
we can't forget last week, Neil.
Not at all. Huge crash, carrying injuries, just beaten up. And it's a long race in those conditions as well, with that bit of drizzle, concentration levels. Pecco will sleep tonight. Actually, they're all testing tomorrow, so he'll need to sleep tonight because it'll be a hard day's work tomorrow. Testing the new parts. It's the first time you get a proper glimpse of what everyone's going to be bringing for 2025.
Does Marc test the 25 bike?
Don't know.
I think you want to give him a first contact, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But then surely he's got to try the 24 bike.
First. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. There's so many interesting things in that test of, well, who's going to test the Aprilia? Just Raul Fernandez?
Yeah, because...
I understood Jack Miller's going to test the KTM, but he's not there next year.
No, he's leaving. So if you... I guess you're testing the new parts, but not telling you what they are, as in, this is the new bike, just try this, what's your feedback? And also, let's be honest, if you say you're trying the new aero, I can't see Jack has worked out exactly what that aero is, as in the percentage of extra downforce or whatever.
Is Bully going to come out the back with, look at what you could have won? To those riders who aren't going to be on their bike.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen is you test the new bike and it's absolutely brilliant and you're leaving and you hear...
That is completely lost on anyone stateside, anyone anywhere outside of the British Isles, I would suggest.
It was a bullseye reference.
And anyone, I suppose, as well, under the age of 40. Our apologies.
In one. Marc Marquez.
So we're going to hear, first of all, from Enea Bastianini. Really solid ride. Onto the podium. Another 16 points.
Enea on the podium at your home GP. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's been a very difficult GP for me because I'm starting from behind, but after when I received the chance to close the gap from the leading group, when there was a little bit of rain, and I tried to close, and I was close to the podium. I fight for also for the victory, but I was really tired because my feet now is too bad. Also this morning I feel not very well, but I'm happy. And the podium at home is always special, and thanks to all my team, the family, the sponsor, everybody.
Big congratulations.
Yeah, well done to Enea Bastianini. Factory 2 and 3 in the race today. That resigned feel when Enea Bastianini speaks. I wonder how Pecco Bagnaia is going to be reacting here. He looks worn out, is the main thing that I saw.
Yeah, it's a long weekend for the Italian, isn't it? With that injury, but then everything that comes with it. We've been in the paddock, it's ram-packed. Everywhere he goes, everybody wants a piece of him.
In that race, well, it's hot, and
Yeah,
the mental
humid.
anxiety there must be for him.
Well, it felt like Malaysia, didn't it? That humidity. So, yeah, like I said, he'll sleep tonight, but he's got some work on tomorrow as well.
Struggling to get an earplug out, I think. Finally got there. And he's going to be chatting to Simon Crafar with a resigned look on his face, but I tell you what, he's now only 7 behind Martin in the championship with 7 to go.
Pecco, in those dodgy conditions, there must have been a lot going through your mind. How do you feel about second?
For sure, surely better than yesterday. Yesterday, the chance to have victory was there, and I didn't take it. Today, more than second was impossible. Marc was too in shape to have to try an attempt and try to win. Maybe next time that I will be fully fit, I can have a chance. But Marc in this condition is for sure, surely very strong. So we will try again next time. But without the rain, the gap I was taking was less than what happened today. So 20 clear points, and it's okay.
Great job, congratulations.
Magnanimous in defeat today, but I don't know, part of that's a win, isn't it?
He's right, though, isn't he? As in, if it not rained, he was potentially going to take 5 points off Jorge Martin. That's how there was. He looked in control, in the lead. Martin was behind him, sort of stalking him. And then the rain came, and everything changed.
Right, let's hear from Marc Marquez, who's won his first race in, checks notes, 7 days.
Marc, how you managed those tricky conditions and pounced at that moment, but also your speed afterwards, super impressive. Please tell us how you feel.
Yeah, for me the most important was the speed after that rain. Of course, that rain gave me the possibility to lead the race, and then when I lead the race, okay, I say now I will try to find the same pace as the practice. Oh, sorry that I'm tired. And yeah, about the race, the emotions were super high. When we crossed the line, I was super happy. But yeah, today somebody from the sky, I don't know what I mean, Fausto Gresini say, drop a bit, lead the race and pull away. So that victory is for all the Gresini family.
Fantastic work, congratulations.
Lovely interview there with Marc Marquez. I mean, it's very rare that we're sort of lost for words here, but there was a moment there that I think really could haunt Jorge Martin for a very, very long time. And it's a split decision. He made a mistake, but my goodness me, how costly it was for him, Michael.
It beggars belief, to be honest, to be in control of every emotion he's had to deal with so far this season, and then have a split-second decision, a little twitch down the back straight.
He looks there, look, and he realises straight away.
Yeah, but he had all the information. He had Pecco in front of him. You mark your championship rival in these scenarios. You do not take that. This is a gamble. You do this if you're going for, if you're back outside the points and you think, I'll roll the dice today. I just do not know what Jorge Martin was thinking. It's the first time he's blinked all year and not done the right thing, but yeah. 19 points, essentially, he's give away to Pecco Bagnaia on a day we didn't need to. He's been so in control, but yeah, the pressure gets to everyone.
I mean, I guess, you know, the difference is 7 points, so you could say he's given away 19. Maybe you could say he would have only been second today, then that takes back to 14. But he's given away a bucket full of points today, and he'll be so mad. And I suppose what's important now is how he deals with it. How does he put that somewhere and move forward, because he's still leading the championship, but for sure Pecco's now the one that's cock a hoop.
Indeed, I think Pecco's dealt with it so well today in these conditions, settled for second. But Jorge Martin, he's been through this before at Sachsenring. He threw away a potential points haul of 20 or 25 points, and he bounces back. So he deals with those up and downs quite well. But it shouldn't have been a downer. We were on the grid deciding whether it could go one of two ways in these conditions, and I really didn't see that happening. I didn't see Jorge making that type of mistake. He seemed to have everything under control this year.
It seems like it's a once-in-a-lifetime nightmare error, isn't it, really? It's just down to... It just goes to show, you know, everybody's human. It seemed like Pecco had all the pressure, and yet the way that turned out, it was Jorge that made the error. Let's not take anything away from Marc Marquez here, because what an incredible race he rode, and he really took advantage. When everything was at its worst conditions, he was right in there, and he took 3 in 1, I think.
He's so good. Whenever the rain begins to fall and grip starts to drop, that's whenever Marc seems to feel more comfortable than anyone else on planet Earth. He just sticks it down the inside. We always say it's taking a risk, but it never seems to be, because he always keeps it on 2 wheels. He just has superior feel. So that move down into Tremondo, but this one into Caro corner, it looked like it was going to do 2 down the inside of the KTM. And then immediately dives past again. So he looks like he's on rails at this point. Pecco's being a little bit careful, and Marc's just pushing on. The KTMs of Jack Miller and Brad coming forward. That was what set this race apart. It gave Marc a shot at another victory today, but he had to do everything right. He delivered in the wet conditions and in the dry, 31.5. He was special out there, so yeah, it was really good to see.
Yeah, an incredible reaction from the Grassini garage, because they absolutely didn't expect that today. Sorry if you're struggling to hear us at all. There's been a track invasion, because we've got everybody shouting around us. We are back to the days actually here, which is good, of Valentino Rossi, because they did get very mardy when he retired, and they did not come to the races, but they are back in force now.
Despite having double world champion Pecco Bagnaia, so many Italians to shout for, but it's took them a while to re-engage with their new Moto GP stars.
The baton has changed now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And he is, he's behind in the championship by 7 points, but arguably in control.
Yeah, I've got to say that we're coming back here in a fortnight's time, and he's got a chance. Although Pecco got beat fair and square yesterday by Jorge Martin, so yeah, Jorge's just got to brush this off. It was an error of judgment on his part. He had all the information, made the wrong call today, so he's gonna be frustrated tonight. But he'll be on track tomorrow for the test. Put his frustration out there on track, and then come back in a fortnight's time and just get his championship back on track.
I think it's very difficult for us mere mortals to understand how he will feel, having made that decision himself. I'm assuming that he made that decision to come in on his own, didn't he?
Yeah, it's always the rider who gets to make that call. Sometimes you'll get asked for some signals on your pit board or on your dash, but today there wasn't time exactly. The rain only began to fall really heavily at Tremonto. They went up through Curvone. He had a little moment, went off track, and he immediately panicked, thought, I'm going to make the decision early. Sometimes it is the right call, but with the radars, with all the information, it wasn't telling us that it was going to be a heavy rainfall. He should have looked. His history's always been that it's only a light bit of rain. It's not going to pretty much wet the track, but yeah, he just panicked and made the wrong decision. Had to do a double pit stop to change back to slick tyres, and that was it. Game over. So 1 point for his efforts today. Whilst 20 go in Pecco's pocket. Yeah, it is. It's frustrating for him and the whole Pramac team.
Absolute heartbreak today for Jorge Martin, but you just saw the track invasion there. It was harking back to the old days, which is great. There's 90,000 fans here today, about 50,000 yesterday, and look at the scene here. Just absolutely terrific. They're delighted that their man is back in it. Pecco is back in it, Gav.
He is, Susie. And who'd have thought that after what we saw yesterday, the dejected figure. Bastianini takes the podium, and now Pecco Bagnaia joins him up there, to the delight of Gigi Dall'Igna, Davide Tardozzi, and all of Ducati, and all the family would have come down here. Just listen to the roar. A few whistles and boos from some of the Italians. He's not the most popular rider, but he's done it for the Italian Grassini team here today. And he said maybe a little bit of Fausto Grassini in there. Grassini celebrate back-to-back wins in Moto GP. Enea Bastianini, his 7th podium of the season, still 4th in the championship, 9 behind Marc Marquez. Pecco Bagnaia, that 20 points takes him on to 305 versus Jorge Martin's 312. 10th trophy of his season. Only 7 behind Martin in the championship, but Marc Marquez takes his 2nd win of the year. That's his 61st in Moto GP, the 87th of his career. And again, the man who is the master of mixed conditions, Marc Marquez, wins here in Misano and puts to the sky. I'm sure Master Grassini had something to do with that. That's how he's convinced anyway.
The atmosphere will be just as exciting and just as tense as it's champagne time here at Misano. An absolutely electric Moto GP race that has had massive ramifications in the World Championship. 2 weeks' time, we're back here at Misano for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. That's going to be on JBMotorsports 2. Thanks for your company here this weekend. Misano, boy oh boy have you delivered. We'll see you in 2 weeks when MotoGP resumes. Continuing coverage coming up of the Goodwood Revival and later on the first race of the NASCAR playoffs. Thanks for your company. We'll see you next time. Bye bye. Time that to perfection as the checker flag comes out and the test day is over. So, everything has now been completed and it has been for a while as the riders weren't very happy, and there's been some news coming around that nobody likes the new front tyre that Michelin has brought here as well. Johan Zarco saying that it needs a lot of work. The only rider to actually like it is Pecco Bagnaia. So that could be something to watch later on in the broadcast. But here's your official results then from today's day of testing. As the audio plays in the background. So it is Pecco Bagnaia from Franco Morbidelli. Then it's Enea Bastianini, Pedro Costa, Fabio Quartararo top 5. Johan Zarco, Marc Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Maverick Vinales, Brad Binder has the top 10. Raul Fernandez, Alex Marquez, Danny Pedrosa, Aleix Espargaro, Jack Miller, Alex Rins, Miguel Oliveira, Johan Zarco, Takiki Nakagami, Luca Marini, Juan Mir, Lorenzo Salvadori, and then not completely lap times at all, Stefan Bradl, Augusto Fernandez, and Fabio Di Giannantonio, the last two due to injury. No idea why Bradl didn't go out across the entire day, to be fair. A bit unusual on that front. So that's it then from Misano. My thanks to everybody for coming in and watching and being a part of it as well. I hope we were able to give you a little bit more detail on the test than anybody else has managed to do, and I hope you enjoy it as well. What an absolute fantastic test for 2024 and 2025 bikes. Now, 2 weeks' time, we're back here at Misano for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Join us then on JB Motorsports. See you later. Bye-bye.